Hi everybody, and welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade New York by Night. We are off of Anarchs from the last 2 weeks. That was a little intermission while our dear Zabani was away. But now we're back into the swing of things as normal. But just to get started, we're going to do short intros for everybody. So first we'll start with Articus as Felix. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Bonjour. I am Felix Cote, and I feel like I haven't done this in a while. Well, let's see. Last game, well, we dealt with kind of this looping. Oh goodness, what are they called? The other kindred that can do the illusions kind of trap here.
Fucking Ravnos.
Ravnos, thank you very much. All I remember is that I got 60, and we're going to go and inspect into Invotech and figure out what they might be doing. That seems to be the most interesting thing to me at the part. Well, I am Tremere, so everything's interesting.
Next we'll have Chard as Roland.
Well, in between running the Rebels case, trying to raise my child Clementine, being blood bonded by the local Nosferatu, I am just trying to find time to also get my Saya into the city. I sure do have my hands full for the next couple weeks.
Next we will have Zabani as Angel.
Yeah, like Felix said, we dealt with some Ravnos. We're gonna find his fucking brother, figure out what the fuck is going on with all that, and then they're gonna get the fuck out of my town. That's what the important thing is.
Great. Next we'll have Modi Enzis as Nate Ward.
Coming up, it's pretty much going to be, it's a matter of dealing with the Setites is, I think, of the utmost importance at this point. There's a lot of other distractions going on at this moment, but this needs to be handled quickly and swiftly, and I'm sure that Roland and myself will, and with Ike's assistance, will see this to an end very quickly.
Next we'll have Elvish Dame as Dr. Kim Brown.
Hello, I'm Dr. Kim Brown. I am a Malkavian, and last I was working on, I had gone and talked with Dr. Netchurch, and then had a nice long meeting with him as well as another young author. And then the next day, I had Angel and Felix drop into the hospital while I was working to try and figure out some of the links between their Ravnos problem and the werewolves.
And last but not least, we will have Koznark as Ike Rogers.
Hey, I just got done stealing from the Setite. That was fun. Claudia sent me in so I could check on, the sets and see what they're doing. I happened by Roland while he was making a deal to buy hookers or something. Drugs and hookers. This guy is just... I don't know what we'll do with him. But I did actually manage to find a secret locked room that was unbelievably safe, like bank vault safe, and I decided to pop their trunks, run off with a few guns and a duffel bag and a good bottle of liquor. And then my friend Nate decided he would pick me up down the block, so we're headed back to Claudia's apartment now. Other than that, nothing much.
All right. And to make sure we covered everything. So yes, Angel, Felix, and Kim had met up at the hospital to discuss these recent events and some of the information that Angel and Felix got off of Andrew and Sarah, the Ventru and Ravnos, who had been spying on Angel a touch. And they're going to try and decide what their next step is. They now understand that this company in the city, Invotech, may be involved. From there, we have Ike, who surveyed the Setite household, stole some guns, and is going to be heading back with Nate to maybe speak with Claudia and go from there with those guns, trying to find out what he can do with them best. Nate had some personal time with his sire, got to know her a little bit more, some of her past, and Roland had spoken with Dominic the Setite, who had him partially bloodbound, about getting some hookers. Not sure why, but he wants hookers. So let's actually start out real quick with Nate and Ike heading back to Claudia's because everybody else had kind of wrapped up their last evening, and we'll probably take a day or two downtime afterwards.
You mean Roland and Mike, right?
Did
No,
you say?
Nate and Ike. It's Nate and Ike. You picked
I
me up.
called Nate to pick him up.
Yeah, you picked me up outside of down the street from the set compound. You picked me up.
That is a good thing to remind me about.
Yep.
So, I guess we're on our way back.
Actually, you know what, Nate? If you have time, do you think you could? You know what? Maybe I could stay with you guys tonight if that's okay. Better safe than sorry.
Ike, you know that's not a problem whatsoever. You still have an open invitation to stay with us whenever you need.
Okay.
Of course.
I would like to do that, and I actually have a little bit of information about that Invotech stuff that Claudia was asking about. So I'd like to, and the sewers. So I'd like to maybe relay that to Claudia real quick, and then we could crash for the night. Plus, I got these guns, and I don't know where to hide them. He's gonna like hold up the duffel bag with like a large duffel bag.
Nate kind of like immediately leans over, just like that, but kind of like hands his hand. I was like, put that back down.
Oh, sorry. Didn't know you couldn't have duffel bags. Thought this was America, but okay.
Just better safe than sorry, and we can handle this all very easily in a few moments. Let's just get back to Claudia's. So, it looks like everything went well at the on your little recon excursion.
Well, I only killed 3 of them, so not as well as I was hoping. But I did happen to steal half of their shit and kill all their women, so that was good.
Sounds like a successful evening then.
No, I'm kidding. I didn't kill anybody. Claudia told me I wasn't allowed.
I'm sure that's the only reason.
Wait, should I say I couldn't kill a Setite or 2?
I'm saying that I don't doubt your ability to take out, 1, 2, maybe 3 if things are in your favor, but in the middle of their den, that would have been a suicide mission.
Yeah, that's why I just stole their stuff.
Alright, let's get back to Claudia's then, and we can, I guess, debrief.
Yep, sounds good to me.
And so we will get back to Claudia's, bring his duffel bag full of random ass guns. And are these like automatic weapons, pistols? What
Yeah,
was
one
in the bag?
second.
We haven't looked inside yet, so...
So I changed the settings, changed the properties like 3 times and it wasn't
Oh.
doing it.
Alright, there it goes. There, okay. There it is. Thanks for putting up with Twitchception, guys.
I was wondering about that.
Have you ever
Now
wanted
you
to watch
just
us
noticed.
play VTM as we watch ourselves play VTM?
It's not New York by night without a little bit of technical difficulties.
Oh no, it's Philly by night now. Ah!
What is it? Now it's Philly by night.
Sorry, we
so
made it.
guys, I gotta head over to Philly real quick. Oh no, I guess I'll go back to New York.
Okay, alright, there we go.
You're the OBS guy. Anyway,
Alright, there we go.
you left Twitch up before you were done.
Just blame the producer. Alright.
Well, yeah. Anyway. So Nate and Ike make it back safely to Claudia's apartment. She is in her bedroom at the moment. Once you guys enter, you can hear her on the phone.
Sorry, you said we hear her on the phone when we enter.
Yeah, in her bedroom.
So I guess we just bring all the guns and whatnot inside and slap it down on the kitchen table. And then I look back at Ike. So, what exactly all did you bring back for us? You said guns, but what exactly are we talking about?
I don't know. I don't actually know that much about guns, but this one's really big and shiny, so I thought it would be fun to play with. And then a few ones that look like 2 pistols, I think, and a machine gun, a little one, like a baby machine gun. But looks like a lot of fun to me, and I found this really nice, what looked like nice whiskey, but I thought we could give that to somebody. Well, I could give it to somebody, but...
You mean, give it to somebody, then, somebody you're intending it to drink from, so that, you can share in the joy of it.
No, just as a gift, I have friends. They help me get them a $100 bottle of whiskey. It seems fine to me.
Fair enough. If Claudia's still back in her bedroom talking on the phone, Nate will just kind of hold up his phone his hand for one moment and walk over towards the door. Not like full on ear to the door trying to snoop in on the conversation, but just trying to get a general tone of, is it a friendly chat with a friend, an angry chat, or a hushed kind of, that sort of thing?
So volume definitely sounds like she's not trying to whisper anything. She's got high perception, so she would have heard you guys come in anyway. And it sounds serious, but like someone she respects. Like, so it's a maybe business type call.
So like the Prince or Karina or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe a little friendlier than she might sound with the Prince or the Seneschal. A little more informal, but about business.
Gotcha. So I guess we would look at the guns. I mean, Nate knows just about as much as guns as Ike does. So is that the only thing you brought back?
It was a scouting mission. The fact that I brought back guns and whiskey, I feel like you're selling me short.
No, I was just clarifying that was it. I'm not trying to insinuate anything.
No, that and a little bit of info. I don't want to repeat it twice because we have to tell Claudia, but there was a bank vault-esque strength door into, I guess, an office that me and 7 of my friends couldn't break into. All of us pushing at once still couldn't open the damn door.
Excuse me, 7 of your friends?
I'm gonna make like a shadow puppet on the wall, friends.
And Nate will immediately realize what you're talking about. Sorry,
It's okay. They're just, they're pretty strong, and 7 of us at once should have. Any normal door should open, and this thing was like bank vault door. And I didn't want to. I could have pushed harder, but I was scared it would make a lot of noise, so I just kind of backed off that. But I'd say that's definitely somewhere we're going to want to target in the future.
Sounds good. Bring something to cut that open at least.
Or try again with reinforcements where I don't have to worry about being loud.
That is the point as well.
After another minute or so, you'll hear, if you were still listening closely, Claudia get off the phone, and after maybe another minute, she actually leaves her bedroom, sees the 2 of you standing in the living room, and gives kind of a sarcastic sneer, says, "So what now?"
Oh, sorry. Didn't realize I walked into the wrong apartment today. I guess I'll leave.
Nate's just gonna grab one of the random guns and hold it up, almost as, just hold it up to display it. Guns, apparently. I think these things look nice.
I'm gonna grab it. That's my gun. That wasn't a part of the deal. That's for me.
The look on Claudia's face flits slightly back and forth between excited because she kind of recognizes them and she likes guns, but also, great, where did these come from? So she starts walking forward and looks at the... Do you have, like, the case open?
We're in a duffel bag that he just pulled one out of, yeah. So she can
Right.
open the duffel bag. Like you said, I think it was 2 pistols, a submachine gun, and a long-range rifle.
Alright, so she takes one hand, like, to open the bag without even really touching them by hand, but just sort of eyes them up and down and takes in what they are, and, like, you can see, like, a little math going through her head, and she'll look at, like, so where did these come from?
Do you really want to know?
I think I really want to know.
They probably belong to, what's his name? Carter, Craig, David, whatever, the headset guy. The guy that Roland's friends with.
Dominic.
Oh yeah, him.
Claudia's gonna fold her arms and actually look back and forth between Nate and I. Can I get some sort of explanation?
He just picked me up. I went, you told me to go there, I went there, and I thought, I don't want to get hit in the head with this, so I took it with me.
Fair enough. So, did you find out anything good while you were there, other than where to find some guns?
I don't think they have any, man. I think I took most of them. No, yeah, a couple things. I saw Roland. He showed up looking for hookers. So apparently he's getting deeper into business with them.
Alright, that's something we can talk about.
But he did his normal business. He didn't say anything about us. He was on the straight and level, so that worked well. They have a incredibly secure room in their compound area building, and I couldn't break it for the life of me, and I put a lot of effort into breaking this door. Like Bank Vault can't break in. I didn't want to keep trying because I was afraid that we would raise suspicion, or I would raise suspicion. So I didn't quite do that. Other than that, it's a pretty boring, almost stripped down sort of building. There's just meetings upstairs, lots of people. I couldn't get around too well. The upstairs is blocked off like you'd imagine from any, kindred home. The downstairs has open windows and stuff, but nothing special other than that one room I found. Normal cameras. It's not a very big place. Expensive cars outside. That's where I got the guns out of the trunk. And then, like I said, I found out a little bit about Envoco or Envotech, and a tiny bit of information about our vampire friends in the sewer.
Oh, good. She's going to walk over to her desk, which is still slightly broken in half from when she punched it earlier. And she's going to open a drawer and pull out, like, some papers and a pencil and look back at Ike. You said you at least got a basic look inside the place. Nobody saw you?
Well, if they did, they didn't say anything.
Alright, do you think you could give me just even a basic kind of blueprint?
Yeah, I think so. Do I have to, or can we just say that?
I'm trying to decide if I should make you roll for that.
I mean, I was just there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm fine with you, at least giving her, like, the main L shape of the house, like, where you were in the kitchen, you know where the hallways were, the staircase. You can definitely give her, like, a basic layout of, like, where things are, and especially leading up to the second floor. Second floor, like I said, there was, like, more hallways and doors, but you couldn't really get past that open room full of people easily.
Yep, I would just give her the layout up to the upstairs in that room.
So after you draw that up for her, she's going to just sort of study it for a moment. She'll open up her laptop and you'll see her, like, making some notes, and maybe even, like, if you were, like, looking, you'd see, like, she was, like, responding to an email real quick.
So about my text earlier when I said, I found some information, but it cost me. I was wondering if you would cover cost and a little extra.
Without turning away from her laptop, she's just going to nod. Yeah, no, this is good information. I can definitely take care of that for you. She's also gonna glance slightly over her shoulder back towards that duffel bag and say, so what exactly are you planning on doing with that?
I think they're shiny. But that's all they are to me is shiny. So if you know more, I don't even know what they are. All I know is the long one probably shoots far away and looks very expensive, and the rest are regular guns. I was gonna ask Roland. I don't know myself. So if you would like to buy them or sell them for me, or if they're useful for you, maybe you could teach me a little bit.
You want me to teach you how to shoot a gun?
I mean, it's considered vulgar for us, but I think it could be fun.
I don't know, a kid living on the street does need to take certain precautions.
It's they who need to take precautions against me. I'm usually okay without a gun, which is why I haven't had one yet, but that big one looks really fun.
She's going to turn away from the laptop and look at both of you, smiling. What about you, Nate? You want to learn? Asked you before, you didn't seem too interested.
I mean, if their lessons are going around, I'm not going to say no, but again, I do kind of share the same opinion as Ike. It does seem a little vulgar, doesn't it?
She's going to, very annoyed but still kind of smiling, put her hands on her hips. Excuse me? Are you saying I'm vulgar?
No, I'm saying I'm overcoming several decades of prejudice against these things.
She's gonna roll her eyes, and she's gonna grab any, like, kind of just, like, cloth, like a, table, like, cloth or whatever that she has around, and walk back up towards the duffel bag and pull out the rifle, and she's gonna start looking it over, trying to see if the, serial number is still on it, or any, like, markings to, and she'll, realize after a little bit that the gun looks like it's probably pretty clean as far as being traced. And she'll let it drop back into the duffel bag. Well, if you two dandies are interested in actually learning how to shoot a gun, I can certainly teach you.
That sounds like fun for another day. First things first, business, Embotech.
What about it?
I learned from one of my friends there was some extra stuff. There were... Oh, crap. Out of character. What was it? Oh, I don't even remember what was said to me. It's been 2 weeks.
Oh, from your homeless pals. Yes.
Yeah.
So what they saw was a few people moving around the building late at night, the ones that obviously were leaving the graffiti and setting off the explosives. They couldn't get a good look at them, but they think it was 3 men and a woman just by body shape. It looked like one of them was a lot thinner and a little more like, just kind of female shape. But they were all like, had masks and covered up, but they were otherwise moving at a speed that seemed not particularly human.
Yeah. You'll let her know all that. I'm gonna let her, all the stuff that
Okay. So she'll lean back, or like kind of like sit half on the back of her couch and just sort of contemplate for a moment. All right. It's something. It at least clarifies that they're probably not human, and they, in that case, since Envotech is partially owned by our kind, they probably know that, and they probably want something out of the kindred that work there, or have business ventures involved there.
Oh, one of my friends on the street just happened to see stuff, so I figured I'd, like I said, I'd ask. So I figured I'd let you know what happened, or what I learned. It did cost me a little bit of money, though.
Yeah, I hear you.
You said Invotech is owned by our kind. Who exactly owns it? Who's in charge of that endeavor?
If I remember correctly, I believe Regina has some stock in it. Thomas Arturo's definitely on the board, if not more hands-on involved. And then I believe there's some kindred that actually work there, or the ghouls do.
Any particular reason why they would have taken an interest in a place like this? I mean,
I haven't followed up all that much myself. I just know that at least some of the kindred of the ghouls that are working there are gangrel. So of course they're going to be interested in an environmentalism-based industry. Why exactly Regina or Thomas are so involved, I don't know. Maybe political clout. Regina does have some involvement with the actual human politicians in the city. Green's in nowadays, so...
or perhaps an attempt to appease the gangrel themselves by investing in their endeavors.
Possibly, although the gangrel do tend to keep to themselves. I mean, besides Xander, most of them just keep to Prospect Park or wherever else they hang out. And out of character, Xander is the gangrel primogen, who Nate would definitely know is a little opposite the stereotype of gangrel. He's very outgoing. He actually really enjoys parties and Camarilla politics and things like that. He seems very strange to a lot of people as far as what gangrel goes.
Fair enough.
Well, that and for our Junissi and the Silver Friends, I didn't get much. No one's noticed much except one friend noticed one weird guy going down a manhole, lifted it with one hand. So that's, most manholes can't be lifted that way. So I'm assuming he's not a human. Not much of a description, and I'll tell her the location of the manhole they went in. And that's really it. They haven't seen many people coming in or out. So either they're getting in off the island, somewhere I don't have eyes or friends, or...
Out of character, you did recognize it as Daniel. Or you think it might have been.
Who's Daniel again?
The Zamisi you guys abducted.
Oh, I didn't abduct him. Y'all motherfuckers abducted
You
him.
were a part of that crew.
Never mind. Yeah, I'll tell her. Actually, I think it was the guy that that they took out of the sewer and gave to the Tremere. I think it was him that we saw going in or out, into the sewer. But other than that, no one's seen anything. I told them to keep looking, and I kind of upped the price. So maybe they'll be keeping a sharper eye on sewer grates for now. But other than that...
Claudia's going to kind of furrow her eyebrows. The one you found, is that what you said?
Well, yeah, the one we found. We, not just me, all the other guys, found in the sewer. We told you about, remember, that they gave to... I think you told me they gave them to the Tremere. That's what the doctor said. She said she was passed off to the Tremere, and I don't know what happened then. I left, remember?
Claudia's going to groan a bit and rub her forehead. Yeah, I've been trying to reach Aisling, and apparently she is just perpetually unavailable at the moment.
I'm surprised you just simply didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, could have been the other answer I got.
Don't trust any of those magic people, so... A whole lot of them are fucked up.
Claudia has a biting her tongue, saying nothing kind of face.
But that's all I got. And if it's okay, I'd like to stay here tonight because I did just steal from the set. And, I don't want to die. I don't think they could find me. I didn't leave anything behind, but they had cameras. So a door's bent without anything showing up on camera, and shit's missing without anything showing up on camera, and I don't think they're that dumb.
Claudia will grab the duffel bag by, like, its handle, like, heft it over her shoulder, and just smiling say, "Couch is yours!" And she'll take it off and, put it in, you know, like a bit of a, like, cabinet off on the side.
Don't lose my new toys now, Claudia.
Don't worry about them.
Trust me, if they're going anywhere, it's simply the range.
Well, not without me. But I think that's it. That's all I figured out tonight. And I didn't kill anyone, so I'm proud of myself.
Good job.
Should
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
all I had.
proud of myself as well that I didn't kill anyone tonight?
I don't know. Should I show you some shmissy?
Don't get him riled up.
Sorry, Mom. I actually said that.
Claudia's going to say Nate, just his name, and nod at her bedroom. And head inside.
I'll just shrug at Ike and follow Claudia into her bedroom.
So once you're inside, she's not speaking so quiet that, like, couldn't hear if he's interested. And I mean that to make clear that, like, she wasn't trying to be secretive, just sort of, like, just wants to speak with Nate. But once behind the door, she's just going to turn to Nate and say, "I was speaking with a couple Bruja colleagues of mine. One of them in particular dealt with Setites during the war. Not closely. He doesn't really know much about them, but he did have some dealings and he made drop-offs, and I'm planning on meeting with him soon, as well as another friend, to start making first step plans of something."
That's fantastic. I mean, it's progress. It's something more than we had yesterday.
Yes. His name's Byron, the one who made the connection of giving them the radioactive blood that was spread around the Sabbat. He and Mark want to meet with us. Byron believes he knows someone at a lower level that might be safe to go head-to-head with, to get some more direct information. Essentially, if he ends up dead, we shouldn't get any repercussion compared to running in headfirst to a bigger guy's house.
Well, as long as you have leads, I'm happy to follow them.
I'm glad to hear that. And I think you'll like both of them. They're two Bruja from the city that I've known for quite some time. Good people.
And where's that?
What?
And where is that?
Where they live or where we're meeting them?
No, you said they're from a city. I've known them for...
From New
What'd you
York.
say?
From New York.
Oh,
I've known
the
them for-
city, the city. I heard a, not the.
It's okay. I was like,
Sorry. Good. So we meet with them. So you said that they had the Setite that we can lean on. Exactly how much did they imply we could get out of this guy?
not much. We were speaking over the phone, and I wasn't entirely sure of the line security, so we just made initial plans to meet. We can talk more in person.
Good. And does any of this come with strings, or are they loyal to the Bruja cause?
No, they're with us as clanmates. They understand that this is more than even just Camarilla. that we've got to get something done.
You're right. I do think I'll like them.
So unless Ike or Nate had anything else for the evening, I think that can wrap up basically where we were last game.
Okay.
Alright, Kim, Angel, Felix, you were still together. You did kind of wrap up the scene a bit, but I just want to make sure you didn't have anything else you wanted to, like, talk to each other about before you go your separate ways home.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
The end of it was really just you guys were like, alright, we have this information about Envotech, that they're involved most likely with some werewolf shit, and Angel in particular is like, I need to find out more. And I think Kim and Felix, more out of a sense of curiosity, want to find out more.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll say that that night's done. That was, I think, like a Wednesday, maybe Thursday night.
I didn't eat that day either.
What?
I didn't eat that day either.
Nope.
All right.
And I was actually gonna potentially do, like, downtime for about 48 hours.
No, I
But-
like RP now.
But that doesn't mean stuff doesn't happen. I just mean, like, you guys, half of you have actual jobs. You've got to check in on things. Roland needs to check in on a brand new club that can fail easily if the owner isn't around. Angel's got a car shop to run. So let's talk real quick. In the next 48 hours, besides running headfirst into more trouble, what would each of you be doing? Let's talk with Felix.
More rituals.
Yeah, alright, great.
Sweet.
Anybody you want to talk to or anything you want to do in the city other than study in the library?
Yeah, I think I need to talk to the one with the MP3 player.
Jocelyn?
No, it wasn't Jocelyn. It was the other one.
MP3 player.
Yeah, she said that she would give me an MP3 player and instead of like a Zoom, instead of the giant.
I feel like it's probably
Walkman.
Masaka.
That's the name.
Okay. You do also have a message outstanding from Lizzie from the club.
Oh yes, that. Yes, we should do that. That too. Yes, with the cell phone in my jacket. Not my jacket, but the was it a Roland jacket?
I think so, yeah.
Yes, that jacket. It's Roland's jacket that he gave him, that he lost promptly that same night.
Alright, so you would want to try and follow up with Lizzie and then maybe even find Masaka?
Yes. That sounds right. That sounds good.
Alright, so, you have a message from Lizzie. You have her phone number. She said that she's just trying to get your jacket back to you, including the cell phone, and even says kind of near the end of her message, like, and, you know, I'd like to see you again.
Yes, I would agree with that. Thankfully, I'm not on the phone because I don't have to answer to that immediately. But yes, I'll answer the message as if I was talking to someone and then realize I was not. I will attempt to call her on my own. What do I need to roll?
That's it.
I want to see if I budge. I'm kind of hoping I budge.
I mean, I've always taken it like if you don't have computers or technology, you can still work basic things, but your character very specifically is kind of, inept to these things, so...
I didn't take the weakness, mind you, so he
I know.
could learn, but yes,
If you
he's
want
a little
to,
inept.
yeah, but you sound like you want to just for fun, so just give me a wits roll.
Just a straight wit, I would.
Mm-hmm.
On sevens? Or just roll.
Just 6 is
Two.
fine. You only have 4 dice anyway, so that's like a mix. It's a we'll see what happens.
How do you know my wits?
I have your sheet.
What? How? Holy shit, Felix.
Nice.
You know how to click a keypad.
Felix finally realized green means go, red means stop.
At least the reroll stuff. But, yes. I've mastered this technology. As he yells at it as it's calling. Wait, I had to listen to it now.
So, after it rings for a little while, it answers, hello?
Hello. Is this,
Felix?
Yes, this is Felix.
Hi, Felix. How are you?
I am doing okay. I finally figured out these terrible devices.
What do you mean?
The cellular phone.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. Didn't grow up with
lived
him or
in the
something?
woods for a while. Yes, I was outside what do they call it? The grid for a bit.
I think I remember you telling me you're a bit of a kind of wanderer type.
Yes. These things are too smart for me. I preferred when they were dumb. You see the buttons? Don't worry, I'm just old school.
Don't worry about it. I'll take it you got my message. I still have your coat and your cell phone if you want to get those back.
Yes. I was calling that, but I more specifically thought it would be good to catch up with you.
Yeah, no, I would really like that. I had fun that other night at the club. Except for those movie actors scared the crap out of me and Taylor.
Oh, I thought they were pretty good. I'm sorry if I...
Oh no, they're
BJ's.
fantastic. I'm not one for horror movies, so it really gave us a bit of a fright.
I don't watch movies at all, but I thought the makeup was great.
Yeah, I agree.
What's a good place to meet? I'm still a little fresh to the city.
Oh yeah, sure. Where are you staying? And if you just mention like you were saying, whatever you want to say, your actual location is northwest of Central Park.
I think he's at a school, isn't he? Like a public university?
The Chantry is part of a college, so you could even say you're staying there, or you could say wherever you want to say. I'm just letting you know where you actually are.
Oh yeah. He'd say the the college, just basically saying that he's taking courses abroad. Whatever the name of the college is, I don't remember. I have notes.
Oh, you made me forget. I'm gonna blame you.
Barnard College.
Yeah,
Columbia University.
Barnard College. Yeah.
See, I got notes.
Nice.
Yes. I'm at Barnard College. I was studying abroad here.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I know where that is. So around the college, there is kind of a little like coffee shop. She'll give you the name of it. I don't have one ready, so let's call it the 3 Bean Cafe. I can meet you there.
Sure. That sounds wonderful.
That's actually a coffee shop I like, so whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So she'll agree to meet you over at that cafe. Probably maybe half hour. She'll already be there, probably waiting by the time you get there. Has a bit of a eager body language to her.
Because I hoofed it. Didn't drive. Hoofed it.
So she's just sitting at a table with a small cup. Looks like it's actually probably tea instead of coffee.
That's fine. He'll have none. He does not have that spell yet. Yeah, so he'll show up. Yeah, he'll take a seat. Hello.
Hey, Felix.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. How's it going?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. She'll have the jacket actually like sitting on the table, and she'll like just slide it like gently towards you. Here you go.
Oh, thank you. And he'll kind of like, he'll take it, but kind of put it aside like that's not really what he's here for. He's such a charmer.
Do you still have that parsley in your shoe?
Well, it only lasts 24 hours.
Oh, that's right.
So, I mean, even if he did and forgot
Okay.
about it, more than likely he did.
Got a big old
It's
squish bits
probably
of
not
parsley.
active.
Alright,
Yes,
alright,
yes,
so
yes, yes.
so you're back to just your, I think you're 3 normally?
Yes.
Okay, but still, yeah, charmer, pretty looking. So she's just, you know, she'll take a small sip of her tea and then motion like with her head, like, do you want anything? I can get it for you.
Oh no. I'm quite alright. I actually woke you.
Oh, that's right, wanderer type. You like getting around on your own.
Yes, and well, I don't like crows.
I can understand that. My sister used to have this terrible driving anxiety. It took her forever to get her license.
Yes. I mean, I guess I just don't have a car, so no need to drive.
That makes sense.
I've thought about a bike, but too much maintenance.
Yeah, a lot of people in the city don't even drive. There's enough public transportation, and you know, yeah, you need to go to the store. There's one like 2 blocks away.
Yes, pretty much. I like walking. Easy enough. So, how are you doing this fine day?
I'm fine. I was just up, you know, doing whatever. I got your phone call. I was free, so I figured, you know, I'd get this, your jacket back to you.
Thank you very much. I completely misplaced it. I was like, I think I left it with, you know, with this beautiful woman, but I couldn't remember.
She's gonna, like, genuinely blush. Just, like, kind of head down a bit.
So, how have your studies been?
Oh, good. Like I kind of mentioned before, I really only got a few more classes left, and then I'll graduate from, you know, for my bachelor's, and pretty sure I'm going for the master's, but a little iffy.
I understand that. I mean, you know, between wandering and studying, one requires sitting in a place, which I can never do, and then the other one requires, you know, not doing that stuff. So, I completely understand that.
It's a little more the money, honestly, instead of just getting started on a career as soon as I can.
Oh. Hmm. I'd understand that. I've learned how to live off very little, but it's very interesting. It's kind of fun, if you will.
That makes sense. I think that's a great skill to have. It's like those Bear Grylls shows and things like that, right?
Maybe I don't know much of TV because
Oh yeah.
living off little.
Yeah, no, it's a TV show. Some guy, he puts himself out in the wilderness and kind of shows you how to survive different things. I've only watched a little bit of it. I just think the concept's pretty cool to know how to do that if you ever need to.
Oh, wonderful. Maybe you could give me some tips.
I'm sure it'd make more sense the other way around. She's gonna take, like, you know, like a little sip out of her tea.
Well, I mean, it's still wonderful information, though. My travels have been interesting, if best. Mostly around this New England area. I don't know. I kind of like the cool. Once it gets too warm, it kind of gets all sweaty.
I get that. I've been to the South before, and I like it more up here too. So they'll have like some more chit chat. She's gonna ask you a little bit more about your travels, which if you could like, I feel like this is a good longer conversation in reality. So like if you can like sum up for even actually the audience, would be nice to tell a little bit more about where Felix has been.
Sure, absolutely. So he will let out that he is. I'm going to try to pronounce this the best way I can, but he is a 1/4 Wolasko Kiik, which is a Native American tribe between Maine and eastern Canada. So he's dealt mostly with his grandmother. He learned a lot from her, from like how they represent themselves names, as they represent themselves spirit-wise, and he took a very much liking to it because his mother was kind of a revolutionary warrior for their area. There's a specific kind of like Texan like, you know, we're our own people and screw Canada and screw the United States. We have our own little area, and it's very driven by the Native American community there, and so that's what his mother was, and his father fished, so he was never home. So he learned a lot about just living on his own, moving around, and he's moved around between Canada, New York, Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, all those kind of areas around there. Mostly keeping to those areas and keeping to himself. But has a great amount of stories of when he's run into very interesting characters, especially certain humans.
So hours go by with Felix and Lizzie just getting to know each other more, talking over. She gets like another cup of tea and keeps trying to insist on getting him something, which he would, politely say no to. Around midnight, she'll maybe like glance at her phone and just suddenly, oh wow, it's really late. I do actually have a class tomorrow, so I should probably get going. But it's been really great getting to catch up and get to know you more, Felix.
Definitely, and make sure to prepare for it. I know how those courses can be.
Yeah, of course.
And he'll give her a wink and a goodbye hug.
Yeah, she will give you a really like kind of nice like firm squeeze and just I'd like to meet up again sometime if we could. I don't know what your normal schedule or life is like.
My normal schedule is nothing written down.
I gotcha. That cell phone that was in your jacket, that's yours, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can I get your number?
Oh, he picks it up
Tries to find it on the phone. Oh no, where is it?
and he's like, "How do you find your phone number in these things?"
She's gonna like kind of giggle and gently just lift it out of your hands and like, click real fast through it, find it, and she's gonna like hold her cell phone in her other hand and start typing with like just one thumb and then hand the phone back to you.
Oh, thank you. You're lots faster than this. Probably would have taken another hour for me.
Yeah, I've grown up with these, so easy to use.
Fair enough. Well, you're the expert then.
All right. So do Felix have anything else?
No, okay, salut.
All right. It's about the hour, so we'll have our first break, and then we'll come back and we'll finish our quick kind of like roundabout downtimes before we get back into like the next full-on evening of nonsense going on. So who wants to stay for AMAs? Articus wants to stay. Anybody else? All right, and Ike will stay. So first we will have Articus as Felix. Everybody in the chat, go ahead and ask Articus questions about his character, about himself as a player. You know what to do.
Hello, my little wraith and wraithets. Ask me anything. Well, because no one else has asked just yet, I lost, oh god, Shirobon. ask, you stole that shit. No, he avoids stealing in general. Mostly because he doesn't need to live off the land from stealing, because he doesn't need to steal food. So, monetarily wise, he doesn't have to go through most of the mundanes that the humans do to keep alive. If anything, he does steal blood. Because, that's not necessarily asked for. CS Graham asks, what do you miss in particular about your character in the last 2 weeks? Ooh, that's a great question. I think I missed the almost Swiss Army knife of abilities that he could just technically use. He's just like, I'm Tremere. And, you can just kind of do interesting things. And not necessarily if you can do them on the spot, but you could actually just research them. And the Tremere is literally a Swiss Army knife walking utility blade if you give it enough time. And I feel like this game is really portrayed to that, so I kind of enjoyed that capability. Articus from Emperor Grimar. Do you ever make little beard beds for Edie to sleep on? No, maybe. She typically likes falling asleep on my chest. Let's see. Hope asks, how has the appearance boost made Felix feel? Well, he feels normal, but everyone else sees him as more attractive, which admittedly he kind of likes that idea. He really likes to. He has a little bit of deviant nature to him, so he likes that idea that he's kind of doing that kind of thing. Now that we actually know how long the Tremere spells take to prepare, it takes 5 minutes to prepare that spell. So he might do it more often before going out. Kind of like dressing up. It's instead Tremere is, putting shit in your shoe. Let's see. Zabani asks, who's the best starter Pokemon and why is it Squirtle? Squirtle was the normal one I always choose, but I also like choosing Bulbasaur occasionally, and Charmander if I really want to challenge, at least in the beginning. But he's not my favorite. I really like the water types more. But I like leaf type too. I like both. Let's see. Alright. Emperor asked, what is the worst clan and why is the Tremere? Well, it depends. If you take some of the factions of the Bali, they're one of the most unimaginative clans completely. They're just like, we're evil. That's the clan. But there's another half of the clan that actually has this really interesting reason to why they're evil, which are really cool to listen to. So, the Tremere they're kind of cool and imaginative. They're mages who just transferred and became vampires. So they have a really cool concept about them. But some of the stuff they can do is pretty ridiculous. But if you've ever played Mage, mages are completely ridiculous in general. Let's see. I just hear at Arcus. I think there's image. Yeah. Phone. That's good. I like that. Thank you very much. I will say that's my good cutoff point.
Oh yeah, that's good. Let's do. Oh, I think it was Koznarkus Ike. I'll give him a second. Everyone, go ahead. Get your questions for Ike loaded up. Koznark will be back in 1 second. He is dealing with the puppies, I believe. Hi, puppies. So, question time. AMA is for Koznarkus Ike.
Ask me anything, guys.
He spooked me.
Headless Spirit is a scared kitten at the moment. CS Graham asks, what did you miss in particular about your character in the last 2 weeks? Nothing. Look, I love Ike, but as far as characters go, he's a pain in the ass to play. He's slow burning, ultra paranoid, checks his ass 12 times, takes a month to do anything because time's not a waste. He doesn't give a shit about time. If it takes him a month to walk into somewhere, that's just what he does. So he's a lot slower paced. I'm happy to get back to him, but I didn't miss much. Once I get some good up 10 rolls, though, I'll be super happy. Modi asks, what you drinking tonight? We're going with our staple. We found kind of a group that works for us, Golden Monkeys and Svedka. Emperor Grenard asks, so your happy spirit got you onto Twitch. Have you enjoyed your time with the people you've made friends with? So much yes. So I was kind of stuck, and no offense to my friends from there, but I was kind of stuck in a toxic pit hole of playing Dota 2 with a small group of friends. The friends are awesome, the game is shit, I was mad all the time and never had any fun. This is so much better, and now that I'm streaming, being able to play Kerbal Space Program or Darkest Dungeons, talking to you guys in the chat, it's a lot different, having so much fun with it, so I'm really happy I'm here. Happy to be a part of the community. Plus, speaking to producers fun, I'm learning some new stuff. Why did Koznak sound like Ask a Ninja? Maybe Ike's a ninja. What do you know? Maybe he's not. He is covered in blackness. There's lots of shadow everywhere, so... is a Jar DTY asks, is Ike's love of the long-range rifle coming from your own love of sniping in games? Actually, StorytellerSpira said there was a long-range rifle. I do love sniping in games, but Ike has 0 in firearms. He wouldn't know what a gun, one kind or another is. But they're expensive, and Ike needs money, so... And yeah, I might actually get Claudia get some shooting lessons. That'd be kind of cool. Hopeless asks, what do you think is Ike's biggest misuse of Obtenebration, whether in backstory or otherwise? So the way misuse of Obtenebration for true, quote-unquote, true Lasombra, but like actual like people who buy into the mythos of being, you know, I'm a Lasombra, is that they overuse higher ranks. A really good Obtenebration person is supposed to be able to use lower ranks to achieve more. So while Ike was young, that was probably the biggest one, is pulling out, say, Arms of the Abyss when he didn't need to. So he's much more tempered with his use nowadays. But in general, Lasombra do not ever regret obtenebrating, and Ike especially doesn't as a shadow, as an Abyss Mystic. He is happy to do it at any point in time. He thinks that's his true calling in the world. At CS Graham asks, what's your favorite thing that you've learned since becoming a producer? So I went to business school for a while at the University of Iowa, the John Papa John Entrepreneurial Center. Applying that to actually doing this is super fun. And after that, actually, I learned Inkscape and vector art. Doesn't directly mix in with this, but I've learned how to operate OBS, how to mess with settings I'd never touched before, a lot about codecs and coding, streaming, all that kind of stuff. Super fun. I'm glad I did it. And I'm still learning. I'm still garbage at editing, and I'm really trying to get better. So hopefully our YouTube videos will really kick it up a notch soon, but I'm trying.
Alright, I think that was all of them. Nope, one more. Okay.
Alright, what's the worst clan and why is it Tremere? It's Tremere, and because no one likes the overpowered people. It's like playing vampires with cheat codes on. Like, they're like, no, I can fix that. You ever play with that kid in your yard? You're like, oh, I shot you. And he's like, no, I have a bulletproof shield. You're like, all right, well, I hit you with a laser. He's like, nope, it's laser proof too. And you're like, okay, it was a missile. And he's like, nope, it's missile proof. Actually, I win. It's that guy. That is the Tremere. Fuck them. Fuck everything. Alright, good.
100% true.
Alright. This one? That's loud. Okay. Hopefully that's a good volume. Anyway, let's check in with Roland. You've got about 48 hours of downtime, and I think you did have something you wanted to do one day. Or night.
Yeah, I need to get my sire back into the city. Is that what you're referring to?
That and Clem.
Yes, and then also need to give Clem her own day.
Also, I believe the next night you would want to feed off of O'Connell one more time to seal the deal.
Yep. Yes, I also need to feed off O'Connell. I also
Such
need
a
to
busy boy.
back into Claudia about the fact that I'm trying to stake out their hookers to see, because I feel like hookers are probably easier to interrogate than vampires of
Well,
the
that was
sort.
going to be more like I was going to make sure that was a good scene. I was thinking over the next 48 hours, you definitely need to feed off of O'Connell. We were going to talk about that next movement for your sire, but not necessarily play the whole thing out. And then you're kind of do your day with Clem. That can be longer too, though, because I know you definitely wanted to cover some of that.
I mean, doing my day with Clem is whatever. I don't have to, but I'm sure the audience wants to see Roland interact with Clem.
A little bit, maybe.
My adoring audience.
Everybody loves Clem.
Yeah, it's not me, it's Clem.
Alright, so you wake up the next evening. Benedict had crashed just like sitting on the floor, leaning against the wall, arms folded, head down. That's how he slept. O'Connell would have maybe slept on the same mattress as you and Clem, but curled off way in the corner.
I was gonna say, if she tries to sleep on the floor, Roland's gonna pick her up and put her in.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
she already knew that about you, so she's like, fine. But she just kind of curled up a little more closer to the wall.
Sounds good.
So everyone awakes around same time. I think Roland is actually gonna wake up maybe a tiny bit later. But O'Connell and Benedict will probably just be chatting idly.
So, are we not downtiming this, or are we?
Yeah, we can downtime that. It's going to be kind of the same as the previous scenes. O'Connell's going to feel a little bit awkward, but you two are now, you're at least level 2 blood bonded to her, and that'll seal the deal. So, between the two of you, it'll, feel like something actually has connected. She's not going to have the exact same feeling, but even just having someone fully blood bonded to you does create a bit of a connection. So, that's going to happen. And then if you want it to be that night or the next, you would have the night you want to spend more time with Clem, and then the next one where you want to try to head off to Philly to get something done.
I think time-wise, it would be Clem today and then Sire tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you want to spend a little time with Clem. It is, I think, about Thursday, so your club would probably be opening, but it's going to be a choir night anyway, so you might want to check in with your people, make sure everything's going well, check stock and those sorts of basic early night things after, talking with O'Connell. And then after that, you can do whatever you want hanging out with Clem.
It's up to her. It's whatever she wants to do.
So you tell her that, and at first she's a little shy. She's not sure. She really likes having fun with Kindred and learning her lessons from Nate and all that fun stuff. But after she thinks about it for a little while, she's gonna look up as if she suddenly remembers something and goes, "Can we go to a park? With swing sets and stuff?"
Roland looks down at her and yes, I don't think that's a problem, right? Yes, we can go to the park. I'm sure that is fine.
She gets really excited and actually does that kind of a little bit jump up and down. It's I haven't been to one in a really long time now.
Yes, me too. But he got. Yeah. Does Roland know of any parks that are nearby?
Oh yeah, there's Central Park, but there are lots of still smaller parks kind of throughout Manhattan. There will be small ones next to a school or something that has swing sets and monkey bars and things like that. There will be little ones around.
Yeah, let's go to one of those.
All right. So you drive cab?
Yeah, let's drive.
Alright, so you drive along with Clem, and she very happily just stares out the window. She really likes the big lights of the city, and she likes looking at the shops, and occasionally just like reads off names of places and the street names. She just has fun even being in the car, going along with you. You guys get to a park. As soon as you park nearby, she'll like jump out of the side of the door and just run straight for like the swings. And she'll actually do that thing like she jumps up and like foot on the swing seat and grabs the chains and starts like swinging back and forth while standing.
I mean, she's doing that. Roland will go. I mean, is there anyone around or anything like that?
It's pretty quiet. There's like people nearby on the street, but the actual park seems pretty dead.
There's no riffraff I gotta worry about.
Nah.
All right, cool. Roland will go sit on the swings. With almost like a childlike grit. Roland hasn't done anything like this in a long time.
Yeah, so you sit on a swing next to her, and you're just kind of like swinging back a little bit, back and forth. Clem's going to like I said, she's gonna do that kind of standing, swinging thing. She's just gonna enjoy herself for a little bit. It's getting later into spring, so it's cool, but not too cold. Not that it affects you, but it's still something you can feel. So it just feels kind of crisp and nice. And Clem's just gonna enjoy herself for a little bit. Maybe she runs off, goes across the monkey bars, up and down slides, and just really like having fun, burning some energy and being outside. She'll like probably run back and jump on the swing again. And after a little bit, she's gonna look over at you smiling and just kind of laugh. It's really nice to get out more again.
I know I keep you cooped up in that basement a lot. You've earned it. You've earned this time out and about. We can do this more often.
She gives a real big, genuine grin at that, and just, I understand. Like I mean, I'm a little kid, and she'll like kind of trail off, looking away for a moment. I don't not really like other kids anymore.
Yes, I think there might be something we need to talk about.
What's that?
Roland will kind of like scoot to the side and pat the swing next to him for her to come and take a seat.
So she'll drop from her standing swing and actually sit down next to you, looking up expectantly and a little not concerned, just that little like kind of like, oh, we're getting a serious thing talking to now.
Clementine, you know how like your movies and the stories that vampires live forever, right?
Yeah.
Well, we also don't age the same way. We kind of just physically stay the way we are. He kind of like gives a weird glance over to her.
1 second. So, it takes her a moment, but you do see her eyes kind of widen a little bit all of a sudden. Wait. So I'm not gonna get any older.
No, I wouldn't say it that way. You'll learn. You'll have experiences. Time will still go by. You'll still get older. You just won't grow.
She looks at you for a moment longer, but then kind of looks down at the ground, and she's sort of like kicking her feet a bit in the dirt.
It's not going to be easy, but works, you'll still be able to live forever, and we'll still be able to, do everything that you would normally be able to do for the most part, but it's just, you'll do it in a smaller package.
She's gonna, everything stops. Like, she's not kicking the dirt anymore. She's not swinging back and forth. She's just kind of sitting there staring at the ground, and you can see her eyes, darting back and forth as thoughts are running through her head.
Clem, I need you to say something.
I'm not gonna get older. I'm not gonna be a teenager or go to college or any of those things.
I mean, physically, you won't be a teenager, but if going to college is what you want, I'm sure there'll be, I don't know, online classes or something, but, or night classes. I don't know. We can figure all that out when it comes. Right now, you're still a child, and I want you to I just want you to understand what came with this power.
Her voice is gonna hitch a little bit, but I wanted to go to high school and go to prom and.
Clem, and he'll kind of move over and put an arm around her. You will be able to experience so much more than prom and high school. When you get to my age, those things are all just they're just small compared to what you will be able to do because of this gift. I want you to know that. And right now, with this news, it is hard, and you are. It's a tough pill to swallow, but in due time, you'll realize that the pros outweigh the cons. And I would like to do a roll for
Charisma and empathy.
Thank you.
Alright, so you put your arm around Clem, you start giving her the Peter Pan speech that it'll all be fine, she gets to do so much cooler stuff, and it doesn't matter, because all of that stuff's just gonna be, not be that interesting, as time goes on anyway. She does actually sniffle, and you see a little bit of red lining the bottom of her eyes, but she gives you a bit of a weak smile, it's just like, okay, Roland, I've had more fun since I met you and when I had to go to school and all those other stupid things, but I'll trust you.
He kind of looks down at her, and he gets, he's still fair. No, he's not fairly new to being a vampire.
Huh?
I was gonna say, he's still fairly new to being a vampire. Maybe emotions would take over, but no, I was wrong on that.
You were still, kind of a neonate, because you also, your backstory was that you were in the woods for 10 years, so you didn't even, get to know people that much. You're still, 6 humanity, so not too bad.
He'll stand up and take out his handkerchief from his front and, wipe the little red teary thing, and he just looks down at her with, just a sad face. He's not crying, but it's a little sad. Yeah. Clem, I promise you that this is a gift, and though right now it is rough, you will learn to embrace it and to love it, and you will experience more than you ever could have if you would have lived your normal life. I promise you that. And like right now, if there's anything you want to do, we can go do it. Just say it.
So she gives a bit of a dry sniffle and is kind of like, so her nose just like itches. Okay. And after a little while longer, kind of gathering herself back up, she's going to playfully shove at Roland and kind of still a little hitch in her voice, but she's gonna, bitch, can't catch me. She's gonna run off to the monkey bars.
He'll gladly run and chase after her. A little bit slower than her. He'll give some chase. He'll let her win.
Alright, so the rest of the night, she really wants to spend a lot of the time at the park. She was athletic, you know, back even when she was human, she liked playing sports and being outside and hiking and things like that. So that's really what she wants to do for most of the night. But maybe like towards the morning, she asks if you can like just show her more around the city, like take her to one of the bridges, and so they can just like go look at the river, things like that. She just kind of wants to be outside and see stuff.
For sure. We can spend the rest of the day just driving around and showing her whatever she wants. Doing vampire stuff.
Okay. And then if you just want to kind of explain the business you have the next night.
Oh, with my sire?
Mm-hmm. Your little trip.
Yep. So my sire is currently being... Sorry for that car outside. My sire is currently being blood hunted for him trying to kill a prince in a large city, Philly. And he has been hiding in the woods ever since. He found me when I was on the run and decided to embrace me and try and use me in a very kind of manipulative way to free him from the blood bond or to overthrow the Camarilla so he'd have a safe place to go. We got into an argument once when he found out that I embraced Clem and been spending more time with her than the cause, as he would call it. So I have been able to find him a home with the Anarchs inside of New York. He's probably well known, at least on the East Coast, for what he tried to do and being one of the few to kind of escape and get away. So we are giving him back to the Anarchs and calling it mission successful.
Very good. So you managed to get him sent over to Staten Island. You don't follow because it's easier since you aren't well known to just hand off the package and head home. But of course you will later on want to get yourself over to the island and check on how things are going with him.
Right.
Yep. All right. So that's around about your 48 hours or so. So that'll make it... Finishing Friday night, will be on to like Saturday for everybody when we keep going. Angel, you got anything you specifically wanted to cover over the next 48 hours?
Other than, you know, doing work, probably working on that car for the Giovanni.
Mm-hmm.
Probably drawing up plans for the Nosferatu, though I haven't necessarily gone to them, but
Mm-hmm.
I already had kind of the plans halfway done. Also, there's a thing that I wanted to try and figure out that I might start working on, which is the quickened sight.
Yes, my concept for combo disciplines are more about, as long as you have the points in both discipline, it's just going to be kind of time, in-game time, that your character would consider, I have these two things I can do, can I try to do them together? How can I combine them into some other, like, special, not even, like, literally, like, how can I do a combo discipline, but how can I use these at the same time or in benefit of each other, stack them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and he would specifically think of that because of the time that he was in the woods and there were like things following him and they may have been real, they may have not. So that's kind of where that's kind of what spawned him to think about that.
Mm-hmm. And what was that one called again?
Quickened sight.
Alright.
And I do, without a doubt, have the dots for it. I have it mechanically, but I just haven't, learned it.
Mm-hmm. So, you would spend 1 blood point, activate this power, lasts for a scene. Anytime character wishes to see, follow, or examine something that is moving too quickly for normal observation. Wits and alertness roll against 7. 1 success allows the character to observe the item, though. Alright, so yeah, it's definitely a matter of not just having better, higher sight senses like your auspex can typically do, but the auspex added with the celerity lets you see things that move
And
too
slowing
fast.
it down. Track a single card while shuffling a deck. Read a newspaper while driving past it.
Yep. All right. So let's say you even go one night to, the Midnighters are doing a race, and you know the cars are going to go by fast. So you're going to try to basically access your celerity and auspex at the same time, thinking perhaps I can use this quickened ability, celerity, and my heightened senses to try to watch the car and see more details as it goes.
Yeah, pick up things that are on the dashboard, see individual scratches on the car.
Yeah. Alright, so let's say over the next 2 nights, besides your usual car mechanic maintenance job nonsense, you start testing out this idea you have. What's up, Ike?
Can you totally catch me in one of the cars with one of my Sombros? I'm sitting in the passenger seat while they're racing.
For fun, let's have you do the roll and see if you get it or not.
So, wits alertness versus 7?
Yes.
So that's 2 successes.
2 successes. Alright, so you were trying to watch the cars go by. You weren't looking for specific details. You were just trying to see what you could catch as they went by and see if you were able to see more than just, a blur of a car, like catch, like you said, scratches or something like that. But as one of them goes by that even just by make, model, and color, is one of the Midnighters, because you're close with them, you see a passenger in the side. You definitely are able to tell it looks like a young kid, and just kind of by like a second flash of like short brown hair and freckles and height and everything, you just kind of like, is that fucking Ike?
The fuck?
Alright, perfect. So Angel continues working on the Geo car. He's getting a hold of that quick insight. That'll be his 48 hours. Real quick, I want to catch up with Kim, because you've been waiting so patiently. What is Kim doing over the next 48 hours?
Probably eating.
Yes, actually, let's cover that, because that can be fun.
Yeah.
You are not even as much so low, because you still were feeding on blood bags, but you have not fed on a fresh anything in about a week, I think, at this point. So you're definitely getting that bestial grumble in your tummy that you want some fresh hot juice.
Gross.
Hashtag fresh hot juice.
Nope. Okay. Yes, though, I do want some. So, let's see here. So she would probably try to find someone again in the hospital to feed on.
You gonna try for a ghoul, someone on staff, or a stranger in a bed? Pros and cons to all of them.
Someone else's ghouls. She's not gonna drink someone else's ghoul, but that's just wrong. But
Oh, you fed off of Aaron the one time.
Did I? I thought I got him to find someone to feed off of.
You fed off of... Oh, wait. Yeah, I think he found you a body. Sorry, my mistake.
There's no way I would drink from someone else's ghoul. No.
You're good. My mistake, sorry.
No, you're fine. Like, if I did by accident, that's my bad. But, like... Alright, so, actually, I'm gonna try and do it myself this time without involving someone. So we're gonna try and find a patient who's not too bad off and who does not need blood, basically. So maybe somebody who's sleeping.
Alright. Yeah, I'm not even gonna make you do the hunt roll, because you're in a hospital full of people who are sleeping and or in comas, and I'd say you probably think the best one might be like a coma patient, because they're already going to be hooked up to everything they need, and if you just take a small bit to satiate that hunger, you're going to be fine. We'll just need your roll against your sanguinary animism, which, for anybody in the audience who doesn't know, Kim's derangement for being a Malkavian is sanguinary animism. If she fails her roll for it while feeding, she'll get flashes of that person's memory or personality, and if she botches, they kind of take over her for the night.
No, actually, if I succeed, I get flashes of their memory. If I fail, I hear their voices.
Right.
And if I botch, I basically become them.
Right.
So, even if I succeed, I still get their memories flashed.
Yeah, I remember you.
But,
thank you for the reminder. I always
yeah, no problem.
felt like I was like, well, I should still do something.
Yeah, it does every time. Yep. Everyone wants me to botch. God damn it. Okay.
You want to botch.
I know, but I'm trying to save it.
Yeah.
All right, though. So it's just willpower, right?
Yes.
Straight willpower. So that's
Against 7.
7. Yeah, I actually have a fairly decent willpower.
Mm-hmm. That's why you've done okay so far.
What difficulty? Because the more I drink, the more difficult it is.
How much do you think you're gonna take?
It's been a minute.
Mm-hmm. Probably at least 2.
At least 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's say 8 then.
Shit.
Still got a success.
Hey!
Alright, so you succeeded your willpower roll against your sanguinary animism, so you will get images and flashes for the rest of the night of this person. It was a middle-aged guy, just the second after you finish drinking and pull away, close up the wound. Of course you're gonna have a little shiver. You don't like doing this. You hate touching too, just in general, so all of it is horrible for you. But you're gonna get clips of if it's almost like a movie going in your head of this guy with his kids and his wife. Seems like just really sweet kind of father figure. Some bad moments too, arguments between his wife and him. And then you're even gonna get this slightly weird, more hazy feeling of the wife kind of crying at his bedside. And if you think on it for a moment, you'll realize it was him being in the coma, but his access to perception in the world around him is limited and comes and goes.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So say you head back down to the morgue and get back to your work. At a certain point throughout the night, as he often does... Oh wait, let me get your picture up. Sorry, sometimes I forget. Dr. Fargus will come along just to check on you, and he'll see you at your work focus, but observing you, he'll maybe notice, your little head twitches every now and then, just that sudden flash of a memory that's not yours invading, and he'll just, "Are you all right, Kim?"
I'm fine, sir. I can do work.
Are you sure? I know that look about you. You have someone else inside your head, don't you?
Happens every time. What else am I supposed to do but keep working?
I just want to make sure you're not ruining your reports because someone inside your head is worried about their children or their...
Their wife this time. It's their wife.
Whatever. My concern is your paperwork. And your results.
I know. It won't change. It will stay the same just because someone is flashes in my head does not mean that I can't do my own work. or isolate them.
Well, we'll see later how everything turns out. Have you gotten any further with that work you've been doing on the side? Your blood research?
I met with Dr. Netchurch, but not specifically moved forward with it yet. Still trying to figure out what it reacts with. Other than that, I need to come up with more things to test. If you have any ideas, I would be most grateful.
Not really my kind of work. Has the prince come for any of that blood either?
No, it's been sitting there, and I don't know what to do with it at this point.
He's going to have quite the frown, but just out of annoyance.
Well, I've been looking into seeing if someone that I know might be able to sell it at least, so it won't be
What?
sitting here anymore.
Don't you are not to move any of that without the prince's permission.
No, I was going to go to the prince.
What?
And ask. I'm not going to. What? Well, what would you like? Do you want it to sit here?
I don't really care. It's her business. I don't like this place serving as a late night diner.
Yeah, exactly. That neither do I. So I'm trying to get it moved, or at least sold.
Whatever. If you're going to speak with the prince, go ahead. Just let me know what she says about it. Let me know if it's getting out of here or not, or if there's another 100 packages coming or not.
Yes. Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
And he will make his way out of the morgue and can't really slam those doors, but you know the way he loves to shove them open and let them fall back.
And like the slam doors then like activate some memory of slam doors.
Yeah, I was
the
actually
other
just
guy,
gonna say
and
like
then-
one of the fights he and the wife had, there's just like a slam door. It's just gonna make you shudder.
Paperwork, right? Paperwork. You can do this, Kim. Come on. And like she goes back to work.
All right. And for Nate and Ike, not to pair you specifically, but you had last been kind of together. Do either of you have anything over the next 48 hours besides Ike apparently taking joyrides with the Midnighters?
Yeah, I'd be hanging out with my Lasan bros. I'd probably leave the guns with Claudia and let her think about if she wants to buy them, if she'll give me fair price for them, or if I should try selling them. Hang out with Lasan bros, keep tabs with my homeless bros. Like I said, maybe up the price keep an eye on sewer grates, people going in and out of sewers who look weird, going in, not coming out, especially late at night, like past construction hours. Other than that, obviously, being weary of the set, keeping my ear down about them being mad in some way.
Right, so at least probably even the next night, Claudia would get you, if she was stealing some cash, she'll probably give you some cash. She'll get that phone situation sorted for you, and as far as the guns go, she's going to probably in part of the cash say that'll be for some of it, the rest will be your lessons.
No dice. She wants to own the guns, she can buy them, or I can sell them. If lessons are a price, I don't need them.
She meant it in a cute way, but like if you don't...
I'm not gonna hand her like $5,000 worth of guns, and she's like, here's the 20.
Oh no, she gave you a fair amount of cash, and actually she didn't want the 2 pistols or the sub, so she would give that back.
Yeah. The big gun's expensive, but okay. Anyway, as long as I get fair market value, I'm happy with it. I told her to keep the other 2. If they're not worth money, then I don't want them.
Okay.
I'm not a gun dealer. I don't know what I'm doing. She can keep them in her hold of guns, and I can play with them later, I suppose. But my main thing is obviously going to be, keeping my ears down to the homeless network, making new friends, and maybe scouting out some local businesses.
Okay. Any of that doesn't come up in the next, like, night, we'll definitely make sure I get that information to you for next game. And last but not least, Nate, over the next 48 hours.
Jesus Christ, what do you need, Felix?
Oh yeah, sorry, I saw your hand and then you put it down again and I forgot.
I raise it, but then if, it's not relevant, I put it down. Do I have the board?
Yes, what's up?
Felix also wanted to do a follow-up on Easling, I believe. Where is the
I can tell you if whoever you asked or wherever you looked, you don't find her in the Chantry.
Son of a bitch. Who would be the one to poke about where the hell did the Zamisi went? Don't tell me it's Aisling. It's Aisling. You're making your face.
I mean, you know Jocelyn and Masaka by name and have talked to them directly. There are other people around. You kind of know Ephraim. But other than
Ephraim
that...
scares me.
but other than that, like, you don't have anyone I can say by name that you would be like, you can walk up and be like, hi, this thing.
Okay, to Jocelyn.
If you ask Jocelyn, she's gonna say she doesn't know anything about that.
Then who would know something about it? It's not the first time you... Maybe it is, but it's not the first time they've had...
You did hand him off to one person in particular, and she left by herself.
Was that Aisling?
Mm-hmm.
Was that... Oh, son of a Tremere. She... really... Okay, I'll ask her, is there any way to get in contact with Aisling?
Jocelyn's gonna, like, headset.
When she's AWOL.
Aisling sometimes just leaves for a while, and she goes to another chantry out of the city. I'm not really, like, her babysitter or anything. I don't know where she is right now. I mean, you could ask Ephraim or Jeannie, maybe. They might know.
Who's Jeannie?
Oh, he's one of the other regents. There's 5 in total. I don't really know the other 2 that well.
What does Jeannie deal with other than wishes?
Was that to Jocelyn?
No, yes, that was the joke.
She's gonna give a little awkward laugh at that. His full name's Eugenio, but everyone calls him Genie. He's a regent of one of the smaller chantries. I mean, yeah, it's a really small one. It's just like a one, down on the Bronx. I mean, I'm only saying, like, maybe one of the other regents knows.
What does Jeannie deal with?
And she's gonna, like, she seems like she's genuinely not sure. Like she said, she doesn't even know the other 2 regions that well. And Jeannie, she's like, kind of like, I feel like Jeannie kinda, she's gonna give a quick, like, little look around. I feel like Jeannie just didn't really like the main chantry or even Ephraim's chantry that much, and kinda went to go set up something smaller for anyone who doesn't feel that comfortable here. It's kind of his deal, as far as I understand it.
Oh. would you suggest I talk to about finding out certain information?
Probably Ephraim. Now, him and Aisling are probably the closest. If you put him in a rank, it's going to be Ephraim. Second region is going to be, or first one's going to be Aisling. Second is Ephraim.
Well, I guess I'll go see Ephraim then.
All right. We'll say that's like late that next night. You whatever. We'll catch up with you later. I gotta see what Nate's up to. Nate, what are you doing the next 2 days?
All right. So first thing that I have in mind is doing is, since I'm looking to retire good old Gregory, I'm going to start working on a new mask at this point to replace him.
Very nice.
We'll call him Philip. It's the most important part out of the way. But yeah, just basically going for somebody not particularly attractive, assuming, or anything, just pretty well blends in with the crowd. Again, a little bit older than Nate. That's about it. He would, however, take Claudia's offer up for getting some time in at the shooting range with her, and figure out what the excitement's all about with these firearm things she keeps talking about.
Is Philip something you're gonna work on hands-on, or are you gonna go seek him for peace?
Hands-on.
Okay, cool. Just out of curiosity, are we looking at younger, older? You said non-assuming, but like...
I said older. So
okay.
Probably something more like late 50s, even just relatively older.
Okay. So you spend time over the next couple nights, like in your own just bedroom. It takes a little while to, one, find out what. I can't.
Ike has his hand up.
Oh, okay. What's up, Ike?
No, she could have finished her sentence. Hand up means when you're done.
So your camera is just like this of your face.
I know, you didn't. Well, I know because I was just putting my hand up. I was going to say, if he goes to the shooting range, if they'll have me, I'll go with them, though.
Okay, good.
Because I'm not going to pay $1,000 a lesson for shooting stuff, but I'll go with her.
Alright, anyway, so trying to fix Kozark's camera a little bit. So it's not just his face. Anyway, okay, so Nate spent some time working on a new mask, developing this Philip character for himself. Nate, I need a willpower roll at 8.
Alrighty. Yep.
Alright, so, even though using vicissitudes flesh crafting does give you a little bit of excitement, a little bit of that power play kind of thing going on, you're able to resist it becoming any kind of addicting thing or making you feel like you want to test things further. You're able to just focus on making your mask. So then maybe later that night you talk with Claudia and you say, you know what, actually I think I would like to learn how to use one of those, thunder sticks. And, she'll, get in contact with Ike if he wasn't still staying there, because you were gonna go visit the Midnighters. And she'll just get both of you guys rounded up for the next night and take you out to a shooting range. So, you guys arrive. Y'all are so silent. Quiet as Bruja.
I just felt like I've been very loud in the past. I'm just joking. So yeah, Claudia takes us back to the shooting range.
She's going to have her own duffel bag with what looks like a couple different sized items inside. Looks like it's got a bit of heft to it. And as she arrives, she'll, greet the guy who runs the place. They'll have some, like, genuine friendly chit-chat back and forth, like really, like, just kind of boisterous. Claudia will laugh, and you can hear, like, a bit about, like, how are the kids, that kind of, like, chat.
Nate will just kind of smile and nod along the whole time before we finally get back there.
Alright, so after a little while, Claudia's gonna walk back up to the two of you, and she's gonna have, like, her arm out, and dangling from her forearm is gonna be 3 sets of ear cuff headsets. Put these on, boys.
Fine. And he'll put his set on.
So she'll drape another set around, like, her neck, and she'll lead you down a set of stairs that goes into a basement. And you could have already heard it from here, but it would be a lot more muffled as the sound of, shots being fired. But as you get, further down, even with them on, they seem to, like, start getting a bit louder. But nothing that'll hurt since you already have the headsets on.
So, I assume it's as simple as you take the end, you point it downrange, and you just kind of pull on this lever here and it fires, right? I mean, what could be so hard?
Claudia just a slight annoyance, but laughs. Yeah, sure. She's also gonna reach into, like, her bag and pull out 3 sets of like, thick plastic goggles for you guys to put on. These on too.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to, die or something.
Yeah, smart ass. Just put them on.
Yes, Mom.
Nate puts his on without comment.
So she'll walk you 3 down to the very, like, the last, like, very end of the shooting range. There's, like, 2 guys down there firing, but they were a little more towards the front. She wanted to lead you a bit further away, and gets you to each set up in a lane, and sets down her bag. She starts pulling out a couple rifles, and she's checking them. She, like, checks safety's on, double checks that it's on. She already had them, but she makes sure the safety's on, and then hands one to each of you.
Wait, is there 2 of us or 3 of us?
There's the 3 of you, you 2 and Claudia.
You said she walks 3 of us. I was like, wait a second. I thought
Sorry, I kept thinking 3 for the headphones and the glasses. She walks the 2 of you along. I think I said she walks the 3. I meant, like, all 3 of you walk along. Anyway.
Did she bring the big rifle I had? Or
No,
You
she
gotta
left
work
that.
up to it.
She also just didn't want to show that off to a bunch of people at a random shooting range.
Makes sense.
So, after she hands each of them to you, she's going to take a moment and do the standard, like, show you how to stand, how to hold your arms, where your grip needs to be, where the safety is, and not to take it off until you're gonna fire straight, all that basic explanation. And she's going to step back, and afterwards, like, during her explanations, she's gonna have told, like, Nate to fire first, and then she'll let Ike know when to fire too.
Do you want me to go ahead and roll?
I would like a dex roll from both of you.
but that's still one success.
Mm-hmm. Let's see how Ike does. Alright, so Nate fires his rifle at the target down the lane. He hits, like, the side of it. Maybe, like, within that first line of the body shape. But, you know, decent for a first time, but nothing spectacular. Ike gets a little closer to the center, but still in the, like, outer 2/3 of it. And if either of you look at her, Claudia actually gives a slight little smile. And, you know, you guys will spend another, like, hour or two, and she'll, like, keep explaining what you did wrong, how to better hold your rifle, how to hold yourself. And after a little while, maybe she'll switch you guys to pistols and start explaining the differences with those. So now Nate and Ike are on their way to getting their first down in firearms. Oh, they grow up so fast.
I just want Nate, to the first time he uses a gun in combat, to botch like Lucky. Instead of shooting the pistol, just chucks it at somebody's head.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say after our night so far tonight, Ike has got an automatic botch on the next person that treats him like a child. He is going to tear them literally eye from eye. Just
What the hell happened?
Have you seen? I'm just joking because of chat and her. We're like, oh, cute. Ike is gonna fucking kill someone.
I was gonna say though,
Right in the sailor suit.
I would love if Nate's instincts take over and he starts trying to fence with the rifle. Ha!
Dude, just put a bayonet on and he was fine.
Oh yeah, exactly. Alright, did Nate and or Ike have any more, for the rest of their downtime? Alright, we're about the hour again, so we'll do another set of AMA breaks, and I think at that point we'll be at the point to get back into the game proper, some of the more heavy stuff everyone wants to do. Nate and Angel want to go, and Kim. Alright, so we'll do you three ladies. Nate seems pretty excited, so we're going to start with Modi Anzus as Nate. Go ahead and ask him questions about his character or himself as a player. Let's go, AMA time.
Alright, to start off the night, we have good old CS Graham giving me the first question. What do you miss in particular about your character in the last 2 weeks? So to be honest, like, I really enjoy the in-art games. So the first week was a really nice break from everything, and just, I enjoy the one-shots every once in a while because it's a good change in pace. But I guess the biggest thing I miss about Nate is just, it's kind of on the precipice of getting somewhere with the setites and everything, and what I really missed is just working towards that, and like, I've just, not, I guess, really missed, but been anxious for is just getting this arc resolved, or getting into the meat of this arc, because it's, I am hopefully about to get really fun, so I'm excited for that. Zabani asks, who is best starter Pokemon, and why is it Squirtle? Well, just in general, it's Squirtle because you defeat the very first gym without even trying, and then the second gym you go even toe with. If you pick Bulbasaur, the first gym, it's even, and then you get your ass handed to you. And if you pick Charizard, you just have an uphill struggle the entire game. You have to rely on other ones. Like, Squirtle is just empirically the best starter Pokemon. It's ridiculous. Hopeless asks, who is Nate's favorite in-game, least favorite? Are you asking players or NPCs in general? What? Because his favorite, if I had to go with players, I have to ask hard questions, bro. Least favorite is easy because it's Felix, and that's mainly just because he's had such little involvement with him. Felix is just a blip on the radar to him. And he doesn't really dislike any of the others, and I don't know. It's really a shame because I feel like Nate's kind of lost touch with Kim and Angel, who he started off being really close to, and are his old school bros, but he really likes Ike and Roland at the same time, so Ike and Roland at the moment, but he really needs to reconnect a bit more with Kim and Angel. Oh, dude, I'll fucking tell that to Felix's face all day long. Like, when he comes back, don't worry. I'll be sure to let Articus know exactly where he stands on the totem pole. You forget, I lived with the man for 3 years. I ain't scared of saying shit to him.
That's an interesting point, though. Is he gonna, like, just call Kim and Angel, hi, guys, miss you?
So, a little bit of spoiler alert, but if we start moving forwards on this fucking set, I think it's just like, hey, Angel, you gotten to stab anything recently? No, bro. You want to stab something? Yes, bro.
I feel like everybody's getting a little stabby, and I'm okay with that. It's coming.
Well, it just made sense because you'd stop and be like, wait, isn't Angel basically a Bruja? Let's get in on the Bruja shit.
You can definitely have VTM games that are a little heavier on combat, in general. My stories tend to be a little bit more like, gotta do some investigation and then stab everything.
See, Angel doesn't want to stab people. I want Angel to stab people. He's perfectly fine just being peaceful and just kind of living his life, but he doesn't have a problem with stabbing people if the stabbing opportunity shows up.
I think it does fit a little bit, though, because you do have Angel that has a short temper, and he does not like, and he's so kind that he doesn't like people being messed with. That's why he's like, I'm gonna stab Jeremy.
Yeah.
So, Articus, I need to tell you this to your face, so are you looking at me like, are we eye to eye? You are Nate's least favorite. Hope apparently was upset that I said that while you weren't in the room, so...
It's okay. I'm a Tremere. I understand.
You did miss the part he said it was mainly because he doesn't know Felix that well, but he did emphasize that he just doesn't care to say to Articus either way.
It doesn't matter. Teardrops slowly falling from face.
So, I
the one Indian tear?
It's a bloody tear.
I need to fill Green or Go Home Green or Go Home in on. So we played a few sessions before we started streaming, just because we started this up as a friendly thing before, like, well, why aren't we streaming it? So, one of the very first sessions, there was Karina, the seneschal, in a car with Roland driving, me in the back, and there were like 4 No, it was a game girl, but there were like 4 of us that all frenzied in a car because there was a guy with the red plague in it that was going crazy on us and trying to infect us. So we all flipped out. So
I drew it. Let me find it.
And somebody else all failed our rage roll or our frenzy rolls, and we're all frenzying in a car while Roland is driving it down a New York road, trying to just not crash or go crazy.
Roland did actually succeed. That's why he was able to just barely pull over the car in time.
There it is.
But let's move on to Angel. Zabani as Angel. Start asking him questions. Let's get the questions rolling for the Toreador.
So, incidentally, I don't have a question yet. Go ahead and ask me questions. But Green or Go Home just made a comment that I guess I can address. My time will come to be mesmerized by things as a Toreador. I have been mesmerized a couple of times. They just haven't been in scenarios where it's like really bad for me. It's more like I was trying to Google something and I got trapped like looking fancy cars up on the internet instead of doing what I was actually supposed to be doing. Aside from missing the game in general the last couple of weeks, what did I miss in particular about playing Angel? Well, mostly it is just the fact that I haven't played anything for the past 2 weeks, but I guess what I would have missed if I'd been in the Anarch game is just Angel's ridiculous, boisterous nature and the fact that he kind of doesn't think things through too hard, and I enjoy that. I enjoy playing characters like that. We have a Tori. Yes, I am a Toreador, though I have personally forgotten that. I've been like, yeah, because I'm a Brewhot. Wait, no, I'm a Toreador. What am I drinking tonight? I'm being boring and drinking my go-to Castile Barista Chocolate Quad. I also, just because I like the bottle. Oh my. Because I like the bottle. I do have this Virus Vodka, comes in an Erlenmeyer flask. I'm super excited by it.
I know what I'm getting my fiance next time I need to get her a present. Thank you for that.
Did I pick the lame-ass Spaniard because I hate all the good in the world? How about, you know what? You go Google bat soap.
That's the best insult I've ever heard. Don't Google bats.
The thing that would make angels succumb to their flaw. Classic muscle cars are like his deal, but he likes all cars. Like he sees a fucking minivan doing its job as a minivan, that might make him succumb to it because he thinks that all cars are, beautiful in their own way, I guess to say. Also, he does understand that that electric cars are going to be a big deal, so it won't be long, especially for an immortal, before gas-powered cars are going to be illegal, and he's trying to get himself into that mindset so that he's not too disappointed when the law passes. What is the best starter Pokemon, and why isn't it Bulbasaur? Because what the fuck can Bulbasaur do? He's a piece of shit. Like, he wiggles his vines.
He does his best, okay?
That's what he's doing. He's doing his best.
Not to mention, Ivysaur is the ugliest fucking Pokemon in the game, and Jinx exists, so...
The Nicki Minaj Pokemon.
Alright, alright, I got one more,
Yep, I mean, that's factual, Articus, that's factual. No, he's lame, Chard. He's lame.
We didn't ask
Bulbasaur
what's the
is lame.
coolest. We asked what was the best.
Also, objectively speaking, Blastoise, when you max him out, has the best stats.
I just said for the start. He has a pretty easy time for the first 3. Just saying. You wouldn't know because you never pick him.
Bulbasaur's a
Because he's lame.
Pile.
Squirtle all the way.
Fuck yeah, Squirtle Bros.
Apparently its name is Blastoise, though, so what the fuck?
Yeah, hey, no. I like him to have something to hope for.
Hope for Sandra?
Just Mr. Bulbs. Alright, we should probably swap over to Kim.
Alright, yeah, so we can move over to Elvish Dame as Kim. Start asking her questions about her character or herself as a player. Let's do
I
it.
was gonna say either that or I don't mind waiting until the next AMA if we're running short on time. No problem.
Alright, we got 7 people to do, so the last one will be Roland and me.
What did I miss in particular about my character in the last 2 weeks? I actually really miss playing Kim because of her, like, stubbornness to fight logically through her own insanity, which is just really fun to roleplay as, because she's actually far more insane than I even let out on the actual stream, because she basically tries to keep it under control as much as she can, which is just really, really fun. Like, I pump myself up listening to weirdly dissonant songs and shit in the car, on the car ride all the way home before I start playing this, to try and get into that mindset of just this cacophony of noise in her head, which is just fun. When am I going to call Roland into? I'm sorry about Cliff. I know, fuck you, man. When my emotions hit me right in the feels. She is going to call Roland after she talks to the prince, if she talks to the prince, in order to have something to talk to him about, and she will probably bring up Clementine in that conversation as well. She will probably just honestly and like offer to help raise her to an extent because she has money and can help and likes kids. But yeah, what part of Kim is the fish? Your ass. That is what part of Kim is the fish, because it is 0. How much would really just 10 bundles of wood at the end?
10.
All right.
7 cords.
Yeah, Jesus. No, I'm going to call the prince about selling the blood because honestly, Roland has the most potential to be able to set up something that can sell werewolf blood just because he has a location and stuff like that. So, yeah, I am. I'm going to call the prince about that shit. Alright, so Angel is obviously someone you want Kim to drink from. Is there any fellow PC you would find it frustrating and bought from? Any other PCs? Shit. Okay, so Kim does want celerity. She's super not okay with touching people in general, so it'd be really hard to get her to drink from anyone. I don't know if she can get this through drinking from him, but she would probably want, shit, I forgot the name of it, but the Zamisi one. That one. She would probably want that one. Just because it's really helpful for A, her work, and B, she finds it fascinating. Chemistry?
Flesh crafting?
Yeah, flesh crafting. That's the one.
Vicissitude.
Vicissitude! Yes, thank you. Thank you for
Wait,
what? Of the day.
What? What'd you say, carcissitude?
Nope. Nothing like that exists.
Angel, if I ran
I
an Empire game,
literally
you could have
disagree.
Carcissitude.
It does if you're a malefactor and demon. Shh.
Let Tremere disagree.
But
Yeah,
no,
but you would
she
never let
probably-
that go.
But and honestly, she would probably want vicissitude. It's just really perfect for her particular occupation, and she just really loves being able to understand on an innate level the human body and the anatomy thereof. Something thunder. Don't fuck yourself. I hate thunder. You know it. Unless it's Thundercats.
Oh.
Ooh, or Thunderstruck. Thunder.
That is actually probably my favorite AC/DC song.
It's such a good song.
It's a
man.
terrible drinking game, though.
You'll be in Thunderstruck.
Take a drink every time they say the word thunder, you get fucked up pretty quick.
Thunder. All right. Any other questions? Lightning. I don't like lightning either because it just gives anxiety until thunder happens.
Alright, we know that you, Elvis Jane, as a player, really kind of want to botch on drinking off of Angel because that would be hilarious. But out of the other players, or even NPCs, who do you think would be the most fun to botch on drinking?
Oh, Ike, obviously.
That'd be good.
Duh. He's like the most evil of us. Like,
Oh my! I
A, she would think she was a kid, which would just be hilarious for someone who's about 50 years old. And B, he's the most evil of all of us.
Oh my
Like,
god!
there's
No,
two
I
things that would make it hilarious.
Yeah, I just want we'd have to have a private conversation about his thoughts. I would love to see Ike's coming out be you botching on Ike.
I know, right? Because she
Be
would
like,
basically
and Ike
just
murdered
say
these
everything.
5 children. Why? Well,
And that that would actually be a really good test too, though, because some say it's all in your head, and some say you actually do get some of the insight from the people. So if she's able to understand and know things that she would otherwise never know, then it's the latter. So,
plus,
which
I was
is
a little
huge.
upset because Obtenebration's a pretty badass ability. Just saying.
yeah, she would try to do a tenebration and then be like, "What the fuck? Why isn't this working?"
Alright,
What happened to me? All
I
right,
think
sorry.
we're-
What's Kim's current relationship
Yeah,
with
last
her
one.
nephew's nieces? She loves her niece and nephew. She has a brother named Daniel, Daniel Brown, who has a daughter and a son, and she tries to keep in touch with them as much as possible. So she sends them presents on their birthdays and on Christmas, and she tries to show up for things as much as she can. She tries to be as present as she can, considering A, her busy schedule, and B, the fact that she's a vampire. But yeah, totally is that cool aunt that sends you $20 and a present. Like,
I don't think Dan Brown's kids need $20.
shut up. Not that Dan Brown.
I don't know.
Hey, she's not Dak Doc Brown either. She doesn't have a DeLorean.
All right. Good evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get back into the game proper. So, getting to the point where there's so many different lines that everybody's following. I'm like, fuck. Oh, one thing before we go too much further. The end of that 48 hours downtime, Kim does have another dream.
Damn it.
So, over the night later, so the night just before you would wake up, and the night after you drank from that guy. So the first night you drink from the guy, you have his memories for the night, and that you end up passing out.
Okay, so I actually kind of thought about something I might do, and I might actually call Angel.
Okay.
And
You
I
want to do
kinda
that the
wanted to
night you
that,
have the
like,
drink?
head twitch moment.
Yeah.
You know?
All right.
Yeah,
We
so
can go
I
ahead and do
wanted
that.
to be the same day. Okay, might take a second. Is that bad? Is that okay?
Oh, no, sorry. I thought you were like in character, like I'm gonna take a minute to call him.
No. Okay.
You're good, yeah.
So, all right. So, closer to kind of the end of the night, after having worked all night and kind of just being stressed out and just not liking whenever her sire came down into the morgue, she would call up Angel.
Hello?
Hey, yeah, no, it's Kim. I'm sorry, never,
What, you okay?
just, a rough day. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it. You want me to come over? Would that help?
If you don't mind over being dead bodies, yes.
I think I've handled I can handle a couple dead bodies.
Okay.
So I'll let Dimitri know. I'll be like, hey Dima, I'm headed out real quick. I'll be back before too long.
What was the last bit?
I said I'm headed out, Dima. I'll be back before too long.
He just nods and he starts to head out, make sure he's got everything under control for you.
Okay.
And I will show up.
Cool. Hey, yeah. Thanks for coming. I'm sorry.
Not a problem.
Just,
What's going on?
it's a little, personal if that's, like, okay.
It's
gonna
cool.
get a
Take your
little-
time.
Okay. So, what's your sire like?
And we have talked about how you have a subpar sire, right?
I don't know if we have. I know that Ike said something. While
I was gonna say, I
there.
think you've heard probably down the grapevine.
But I know I flat out told her and lined up why her sire was a piece of shit, didn't care about her life, and was literally putting her existence at risk just to be an asshole.
Yes, but that would be like, would Angel take Ike's opinion?
Yeah, I
And-
think that was like, I feel that in
Oh,
character
I
that
thought you meant if
you
she
kind of
thought
be a
that.
douchebag.
No, I told her what I thought of her. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, but I was gonna say Angel probably down the grapevine, because even Dr. Fargus isn't like top level like Primogen or any of that level, but he's been a Malkavian in the city for a long time. He's connected with the prince, like that's why the morgue gets the blood, that sort of thing. So like Angel probably would have heard about him being like not a great guy.
So then my response would be, honestly, sweet old lady from the Civil War.
Really? That's
I lucked out, not gonna lie.
yeah. I guess so. Mine doesn't really like to tell me anything at all. So
Yeah, I've heard it can be difficult.
yes. That's kind of understating it a little bit. He well, he just likes to be in charge, kind of can't trust anyone to do anything on their own, just micromanage a lot. But yeah.
Well, you seem to be pretty confident to me.
Thank you, actually. I don't know. It must be nice to have someone who would help you out.
It is, but you got people who help you out too. Just because one of them didn't happen to turn you doesn't mean Actually, when I say that out loud, I'm gonna like turn on my auspex and try and like just listen to make sure he's not coming towards us, because I don't want to be bad mouthing him and then have him walk in. But yeah, just because people who care about you didn't turn you doesn't mean they don't care about you.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't.
No,
mean
it's
to,
really it's okay. It's okay. Like you're my friend. I'm gonna be here for you because that's what I do.
Thank you. Really, I appreciate that. I'm getting really angry recently. I don't know. I just kind of put up with it before, but it's starting to really irritate me how little I understand about things that I should. And
But then ask somebody else. Like what do you, I don't know, think you don't know? Like I get there's the problem with not knowing what you don't know to ask what you don't know about. Like I get that.
well, for
But,
start the war in its entirety, I don't know what happened. I don't know even necessarily why it happened except for bits and pieces. I don't know anything about the other clans. I know nothing. And I wouldn't have known that Dan was Zamisi. I wouldn't have known all kinds of things. I don't know anything, and I guess it's good
Like
that
I
it's
said.
humbling, but it's also really frustrating because I tried to make it a point to learn everything I
Yeah,
can.
I guess it's not exactly a book lying around. I mean, there probably is at the fucking chantry, but fucking weirdos. But yeah, no, I totally get it. Like, and like I said, I will talk to you about this. War is a little bit of a touchy subject, but I can definitely say, kind of grand scope things. Don't really personally like talking too much about my personal experiences in the war. It was a little bit tough, to be honest.
Well, it makes me feel stupid too because I was kind the entire time. I was here in the city working on people who were probably victims of said war and didn't realize it because I've been here working in this hospital for a decade at least. I've been here and I didn't see it, and I feel like
Okay, but you also, at the time though, there were people who could literally implant memories into your head. You might have seen it. Who fucking knows? I mean, I guess that maybe not the most comforting thing, but you might have fucking seen it. And all somebody's got to do is come and fuck with your head. I fucking hate dominate. It freaks me the fuck out.
That's, yeah, one of the scarier.
It's fucking scary. And, you know, who the fuck knows if I ain't been dominated? You ain't been dominated. But, you know, we gotta live. So, just because you didn't see it, one, we got a whole fucking crew here that's making sure this shit lays under wraps. You know, there were people like you. There was people like me that was making sure that, like, if shit got crazy, I was matching the car crashes to the fucking... Because you might have come across the victims of one of my cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's entirely possible, you know, that the injuries didn't line up with reality, but I made them line up with reality. Just like you do now.
Yeah. God damn it, fuck you guys. You're making me laugh.
I'm sorry.
I'll just minimize its case and concentrate. So, thank you, though. That's actually really, I don't know, comforting. I want to learn as much as I can. I can't... If the war was going to happen today, I, A, would not know anything, and B, would have zero way to defend myself. I don't know how to do anything. I don't
know, you stopped a couple fights as far as I'm tracking. And that maybe not immediately useful, but you could stop the fights for long enough for someone to come in and, like, finish the job, which...
So I can be a traffic cone. That's just fantastic.
Hey, look, not everybody was embraced for the combat.
Yeah.
And you know, you don't get better that you're a doctor and not a cop, because you're not stopping fucking robberies.
No, that's true.
It's the same thing. You know, you do what is useful to the cams, and someone else does other things that are useful to the cams. And
yes.
as for...
But everyone seems to want to leave me here, where I'm useful, whereas I would like to learn. What is the point of immortality?
You can do both.
To learn anything.
You can do both. Like, I can tell you about the clans. I can tell you, you know, why the Sabbats are a piece of shit. To an extent, I'm not exactly a fucking expert on them, but like you know, the 13 clans at least. I don't know. There's like bloodlines and shit. Like saw a dude that Tremere worked on that was a fucking rock or something. That was fucking weird. I don't know what the fuck that shit is. But like, you know, the 13 main clans that there's I don't know. There's a lot of fucking bloodlines. And like I can't answer like history questions or like where my clan came from versus your clan. I don't fucking know that shit. But I know like the ones that are big, and now the fucking Malkavians and the Bruja and the fucking Samishi and the Sabra.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah. Yep. No. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You sure?
I've had today. I occasionally get flashes of a middle-aged man arguing heavily with his wife as if it were me. That happens. I can push through that.
There will probably be a little bit of a snicker just picturing Kim as the middle-aged man, but I mean, if it makes you feel better, I couldn't have tell. I wouldn't have been able to tell.
I don't. Thank you.
I don't know. You said you don't like being viewed by your what the fuck did you call it? The thing, the flaw of the
Dementation.
Yeah, you said you didn't like to be viewed by that, and I would have been able to tell. And like, I would like to submit that I know you fairly well.
Thank you. Actually,
so like, I couldn't tell You know, you just seem like stressed.
It's a mix of stressed and feeling overwhelmed, and then having someone else's brain yelling in my ear. But
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
gotta be
that'll
fucking
happen.
freaky.
Yeah, it's a little yeah, no, just lots of door slamming. It's great.
That's rough.
Yeah, his life was rough. Yes, it depends on whose life I feed from. Really, if they're like have a pretty good life, it's not so bad. But I mean, it's not like I can interview people to be fed. That just seems wrong as hell. So
Blood dolls.
I mean, you probably figure that. No.
it's the weirdest when I feed from someone who knows me, because I see myself in their memories, which is just a giant paradox of fun. Yeah.
Man, I thought it was bad losing an entire day because I was looking at cars.
That's right. Even I forget you're a Toreador half the time. I keep thinking you're Bruja.
I mean, it's
Sorry.
fair. I do tend to get along with Bruja pretty easily.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
a
I
bad
have-
thing.
I have lost entire days where a new car came into my shop and completely forgot that anything else mattered. And like I'll probably start drifting off into one of those cars unless you snap me out of it.
No, come back.
Oh,
Here.
yeah, shit. Sorry. See?
It's all right.
So, let's get the, not to end it on a forceful note, but like,
No, we're
let's,
pretty much done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. But go ahead and wrap it up.
Sure. But thanks. Sorry that I bothered you. Thanks for coming
You
anyway.
didn't bother me, all right? We're friends. That's what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
And like, I'm sure you would do the same thing if I was having a shitty day,
Yeah.
which
Absolutely.
has been known to happen.
Yeah. Well, don't get vengeance run over by werewolves. All right. That's...
Yeah, I will do my best not to. If anything's getting run over, they're getting run over. I'm doing it. I'll build it like a silver car. It'll be great.
Fantastic. All right. I'll see you later.
All right.
Alright, so that'll wrap up that sort of Thursday, Friday portion of the game. Now we're into Saturday night. Everybody's waking up fresh from the things that have happened to you, except Kim, you do have your dream, which I will get to. So over that Friday evening, alone in your apartment, you go to sleep during the day, and over the night, you have a dream, and even when you wake up, you'll feel just like this existential kind of feeling that it's the same as like that last time. It wasn't just a dream. There was something else to it. It wasn't just your brain making stuff up. But during the dream, you see Daniel tied to the chair, similar to how you saw him before in your other dream and how he actually was at Angel's shop. But this time, it's just sort of like a blank canvas behind. And the main focus is just Daniel tied to this chair, head lulled down, passed out. You start to see dirt just like forming and falling off of his body, and like kind of reminds you of the dirt that you saw that's part of what he needs to sleep with. And starts just falling off of his body around his feet, and lays there for a moment. But then from where it would be the floor, sort of blood starts to move upward and starts to kind of almost make it like mud, the blood and the dirt mixing together. But then the blood covers and completely envelops the dirt. You can't see it anymore. It doesn't even look like mud anymore. It looks like there's just a giant puddle of blood around his feet. And after a little while of watching this like bubbling like flow of blood, almost like waters rising, going around his feet and where he's sitting. Eventually, this like just wall of flames sort of breaks up and around him, and you feel yourself in the dream. Even though you can't see yourself, it's like from a camera point of view, you feel yourself need to like step away from it, and now you can't see him anymore. At best, you can see maybe like the top of his head, but it's a wall of flames, and smoke is like obscuring even like the top of him. And while it's just a short scene, it feels like it takes a really long time for the stream to happen, and you would then wake up in the morning. Like, that's the last thing you kind of remember.
Shit. Okay.
Or the night. Not the morning. The night.
I know what you.
Yep. Vampire morning.
Okay. She calls up Felix like right then.
He has a phone again.
Shit.
Oh.
Ah, man.
Phone.
Yeah, wait, what time?
It would be, if she calls you the second she wakes up, it would be quite early in the evening. If it wakes you up, you can say that as your character, or you could say like maybe you miss it and call her back a little later.
No, he wakes up pretty early. Like,
Okay.
pretty humanity early. I am saying this to everyone, so that I am basically saying I am not low humanity.
Mhm.
Get that? Yes. No, well, he will be completely jumped, probably from a book he was reading, probably in the main hall, and just, as his phone goes, and it's like, oh shit, and he's just starting to fumble and like freak out because he probably left it at the max volume and he's having a heart attack if he had a beating heart, and would just try to fumble for it. So it'd be a good like 4, maybe 5 rings before he gets picks up. Hello? You're not talking.
Hi. It's Kim. Is Daniel okay?
Is that the person that we grabbed?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What is his name? Samuel?
Daniel.
Oh, Daniel. I don't know.
Okay. So you might need to get him out. Now.
Where?
Is that why? Or what? Either way, it doesn't matter. Something's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, or something's going to just keep it so that we never learn anything that happens from him. But something is going to happen, and we're not going to get it unless we try to get him back or help him or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't need that tone of voice. I know what it sounds like. Just believe me, okay? This happens. The last time that I had something like this happen, it came true. Okay, so I need to know. I need you to get him out if you can.
Oh, doctor.
What?
I was already trying to look into that, but from the urgency, I will try to look harder.
Okay. It's just he's important, all right? Whatever is going on, he's in it. He seems to be kind of the central piece, even if he doesn't know it.
Well, he's at the moment disappeared, so I need to go and reappear him. How's that?
That's good. Don't let anybody burn him.
I don't have direct control or any reckon that, but I will say, if I'm in the room, I won't let him burn.
I'm sorry. You're just the only one in the chantry that I really know.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, I'll keep looking.
Okay,
Huh.
that's all I can ask, really. So yeah, thank you.
Click. I'm just making sure because he doesn't know. He's like, hey, is it off?
All right. Beginning of the evening, just sort of like to keep the flow of things in line. Angel wanted to find more information about Envotech. I think Felix was kind of in line with him, unless I'm mistaken. Roland does have a meeting, I think, over the weekend, if not Saturday, Sunday, one of those days, to meet with Dominic again about his ladies of the evening.
That's I think it's when I sell the rest of his stuff. I'm just supposed to show up and then we'll have a meeting.
Okay. So just like along those lines, I want to check in with Roland, Angel, Felix on your Saturday night, and Nate, that night, Claudia is going to be meeting with Mark and Byron. So Roland, what are your thoughts?
Well, I was gonna meet with Claudia and talk to her.
Okay, good. Let's do that. So, Nate already lives there. Ike, are you staying with them still, or did you move back with the Midnighters? Back with the Midnighters. Alright, so Saturday evening, late evening. You would wake up and find both O'Connell and Benedict gone.
Oh,
As they like to sometimes disappear on their business.
yeah, they do. No
Yeah.
words or anything, but sure.
So you've got Clem. You want to go see Claudia. Nate will be there because that's just where he lives, unless Nate needs to sneak off and do anything personal. Alright.
No, he'll be there.
Yep. I'll even take Clem with me.
Cool. Alright, so, you know, you wake up, it's still early-ish spring, so it's not, so like, sun, or, yeah, no, sun is still gonna set a little earlier, and then so like, you would probably wake up, maybe like 7 or 8, you know, like, you spend a little time with Clem, you get ready. If you are going over without calling, or however you decide to head over, maybe like, you know, 9, 10-ish, whatever.
Yep, I'll send a text also. Like, I'm not
Okay.
show it. I'll send it to Nate.
Alright, what does it say?
Just, I'm coming over. ASAP.
Alright. You'll just get a text back. Okay.
Yep, and then I'll be driving over with Clem.
Alright, so maybe like 9-ish, 9 something you arrive, go up to the apartment, you know, knock on the door, and Claudia would invite you both in. She would give a big smile at Clem, who has, you know, that friendly face and the cute little childhood thing to her.
Right. So, have you guys found anything about our friends?
Well, we had Ike do some surveillance of Dominic's estate. He actually gave me basically a layout of the house. He was able to apparently sneak around pretty quickly and silently. We haven't heard about anyone trying to follow up with him or any news about a 13-year-old on the hunt or being hunted. So we think we're safe with that. So now I know the layout at least of his home. I know his sire's name and where she potentially resides time to time. And she's gonna like look at Nate to make sure she's like not forgetting anything. I think that's where we are so far. I also have 2 Bruja friends I'm going to meet up with later this evening that might have some more information for us.
No, that about sums up everything right now.
Sorry, out of character. You said that you know where Dom's sire is? And who that is?
Yes.
He'll kind of give a look towards her. You know who his sire is and where she is.
Yes, I got it off of the Nosferatu.
And is she in the business as well? Or...
I believe so, as far as I understand.
Well, that's good information to have, but when I was there, I tried to set up a meeting to... I don't really want them, but to acquire a meeting about some... He looks down at Clementine. Women of the night, I guess we could call them, and to at least, I don't know, they have to know the ins and outs of some of his work in this business. I figured it would be something we could attack, something we could hold in our pocket for later if it comes of value.
Claudia has a shy, coy smile when you say ladies of the night. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Sometimes people in power let things slip around those they don't think are really listening.
And if anything, I'm sure it's much easier to interrogate them than his bodyguards. I'm not sure how much information we could get out of them.
Yes, of course.
Is there more you need me to do for this, or what is the next plan?
You mentioned you had a connection you were using to deal with the bond. How has that gone for you?
I mean, you can't really get too red in the cheeks, so I guess blushing doesn't really work.
You can still make the face though, like, and she has high perception, so she, like, unless you want me to roll it, I'll roll it, but she has high perception. She'd probably see it.
Yeah, like the kind of pressed together lips, kind of.
That little like.
It is going great. It's going fine.
Good. My recommendation, if this person cares about you and is concerned about the situation, is make sure they speak to you towards the concept of not revealing what we're doing, staying focused, whatever they can give you as a pep talk, she says in like kind of a very like, you know what I mean.
Yes, that's like, we did it before the last time I went to see Dom. She'll hopefully be able to do it every time after.
Did he ask anything?
He didn't seem to care about anything. He didn't try and see if I was trying to go against him. It was almost too easy.
Well, too easy is scary, but that can also potentially lead to the idea of hubris. You might be in luck if he's prideful and high enough up on his horse that he thinks there's nothing to worry about.
Well, you've been to the city longer than I have. When was the last time anyone tried to go up against the set?
I've really actually only been in the city for a while, and as part of the war to take it back, and that's why I decided to stay. What I understand prior was that the Sabbat basically had a similar arrangement that we have now, in that we leave them to the territories they already had, even allow them to have discussions with us about taking new territory. My concern right now, and disgust and annoyance, is that it does seem that they're moving into Manhattan, which we have declared as Camarilla territory, and they had agreed at the end of the war. So that is my concern. Prior to this, what I understood was they kept to their own. They kept to their area in Brooklyn, or the Bronx, and yes. So that is where we are now.
Well, maybe they've just grown lazy. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know them enough.
Full of themselves and complacent and think we aren't going to push back.
Exactly. So,
Or you guys are still missing one of the critical pieces of this. Or we seem weak.
That's
It
true as
Be a
well.
moment of opportunity.
Like
Roland
I've
will
mentioned,
not.
I don't know exactly what Regina's doing with them, but I have a sense she has some deal, and perhaps it is either involving moving into territory without letting any of the Primogen know about such, or they're pushing her for some reason.
well, I don't know. I mean, it could be any of those things. So, what's next?
The next move so far is mainly tonight I'm going to meet with two of my colleagues, one of which had dealings with the Setite during the war. I'm hoping to get some information out of him, and the other one has just been a close friend. He's helped me acquire certain merchandise before, so just want to keep them in the loop. Roland, if you're free, and she's gonna glance slightly at Clem, who's been being just a good girl, just quietly listening, staying by Roland's side, and, you know, wide-eyed looking at the big adults talking about serious stuff. If you're free, you can come along.
He'll turn and look at Clementine. How does that sound, Clementine? Do you want to meet some more friends?
Yeah, I like meeting friends. Claudia is going to give kind of a like, that's not what I meant face.
Roland understands that, and he'll smile at her. Well, it seems like we are all free. When are you meeting them?
A couple more hours, a little after midnight, is when they said they'd be free.
Do you have a place to meet them?
Yes, we're
obviously,
going to be one of their apartments.
That sounds fine. I was going to offer Rebel's Kiss, but their apartment sounds just fine. Where is it?
It's about mid Manhattan, across South Central Park.
Perfect. I'll meet you there.
Of course. She'll like go to her desk, and you would notice because you haven't seen it since, but it is cracked in two, kind of, just like split in the middle and bent slightly. She's gonna grab a piece of paper and write the address real quick and hand it off to you.
Tuck it into inside pocket. Well, I'd have to run to Rebel's Kiss for a little bit, but if you have a change of plans, just let me know.
Of course.
Nate, are you busy for the next couple hours?
No, I don't have anything going on until the meetup.
Well, Clem here hasn't had a proper lesson in a while, if you have the time.
I agree, that simply can't do. We should get on this immediately.
Perfect. Well, it's my place then. Would you like a ride?
Seems as if we're headed the same places for the next while. It makes sense.
Perfect. And conversation ending and then leave. That's
Good.
okay.
Tiny bit earlier compared to the last one, but I actually need a moment to gather myself for the next bit. So let's do our last AMA, which would be Roland and myself. So, everybody, go ahead and ask Chard questions about himself as a player, or Roland as the player character. Any questions you have in mind?
Ask me anything. Oh, so I know Red Hook is kind of big around here. I'm not sure how far widespread there, but Red Hook ESB, extra special bitter. And then, of course, my usual standby of Irish Death by Iron Horse Brewery.
I have found far too few breweries do ESBs because ESBs are one of my favorite types.
So Red Hook is a local brewery that I think eventually got bought out by Anheuser-Busch, but they keep the recipes relatively the same, the beers, so I haven't really noticed much of a change. But it's the beer that got them big. And Red Hook is one of the, if you live in Washington, one of your first brewery beers is going to be ESB and Mac and Jacks. Graham, what did I miss about my character last? Clementine. Clementine's what I missed the last 2 weeks the most. And being cutesy with Sunshine. Yes, and also Elvish, I am sorry. I was not trying to have those feelings come forward.
No, bro, I don't think you understand. I live for crying about other people's feelings, man. That's that's a good thing.
I didn't know it. That was, come on. If your dreams are prom and high school, you're dreaming small. She'll get over that. I was thinking about that.
God damn it! That's so sad. What is wrong with you?
Just saying, prom.
She is small. Of course, her dreams are going to be small.
Right. No, I get it, guys. I get it.
Jesus.
But bigger things will happen in your life than prom and high school. Is what I was saying. I was afraid that she was gonna be am I never gonna get married? Is that not gonna be a thing? That was my fear. That she was gonna bring up love and relationships.
Oh, she will in the future. Just you wait.
Yes, that was my thing. Is fuck. How am I gonna deal with that aspect? But then she was prom and high school. I'm fucking easy. Get that shit out of here. You don't need that.
Jesus, that's so mean.
If someone's hey, you're gonna have to trade in high school and prom for eternal life, but you're gonna bleh, I'll be yeah, that's cool. Oop. Do I think she'll find out about Clem? I bring Clem everywhere. She knows about Clem, unless there's a specific thing you're talking about. Yeah, yes.
I think about the way that you sired her.
Oh, I'm waiting for someone
done about how she interacts with you.
For sure, and I'm wondering how Roland will I'll deal with it in the moment, kind of thing. But I don't know.
Yeah, situational thing.
Yeah,
because honestly, if you just tell her as it is now, she'll be okay, and then she'll plot about how to kill you. That's
no, and he would never say it in front of Clem. Also, yeah, I turned her because I was murdering her family, and I couldn't kill her, so I was fuck it, why not?
Fucking horrible.
Right, he's not gonna say that, but I'm not sure to what extent he would tell and all that fun stuff.
That's fair, and he might never, and then she might never find out, and then this isn't even a problem.
For sure.
If Chard got through all the questions, I'll take over the last bit myself as StorytellerSpira. You can ask me any questions as a storyteller, stuff about the game that isn't spoilery, I can tell you whatever. Or you can ask me as any of the NPCs. You can ask questions to Claudia, Benedict, Gerard, Karina, anyone who you feel like asking questions. Does the Prince of New York know about Clem? I think she might because of an old game that was actually before stream, but I don't think she would really know, like, for sure if it was... She's very young, she has blush of health, so, like, she might have even thought, like, maybe it was actually Roland's child before Roland got embraced, or something like that. She's not all that concerned. She's Prince. She's got too much on her plate. What did Gerard ask Claudia to give him? Do you actually want me to tell you?
No, I just
Hey.
am being impatient.
I know. Well, you can try and find out other ways in-game if you want to. Zbani? No. What did you miss the 2 weeks about doing a regular New York game? I think it's a little loud. There we go. Turn the music down. What did you miss about 2 weeks about not doing my regular New York game? At this point, by like episode 11, 12, it's gotten a bit of a momentum that while I still have to work every week and write things and write new things or double check stuff and check my notes that have been going, like, it's difficult in its own way, but because it's got a momentum going, it has a ability, or it has a feeling of writing itself almost, so I don't have to work as hard, whereas Anarch was new-ish compared to like just the one shot we did, and I had to do it in a, like, set it for 2 games max, so you have to like have a good beginning, middle, end. If at any point New York ends on a cliffhanger that like needs to be resolved, that's fine, we do it next week. So that's the fun part of a long running game, is like, okay, we did get to finish the scene, but I need to go to bed, we just like do it next week. How have you gauged the changes of the new World of Darkness game coming out story, like the cam vanishing, and what old World of Darkness is doing in their story, especially with the story being modern day? Yeah, so I really like some of the ideas I've seen from VTM 5 about it being kind of post-Gehenna, or like just this like second wave of Inquisition. It's a really cool concept, and I'm really interested in exploring it when it comes out fully, and I can get to like read the lore and the rules. I definitely want to check it out. But I will say, I know I'm that kind of person that I discovered VTM back in like 2000, early 2000, like a 5-6 years after like the main books like came out. So I'm gonna always have that kind of old school, like it's not my old VTM. But we'll see how it is. And how's the fanfic writing going? Been busy, but yeah. Anyway, that's it for me. I don't see any more questions, and I want to get you guys as much time as we can, so we'll get back to the game. Let me see what order I have things set up. I think I want to actually have Nate and Roland are at Claudia's apartment, and she already set up, she said she's going to go meet these 2 other Bruja to get some extra information. So let's say around midnight on Saturday, she's going to be heading that way, and if both the boys want to follow her, and Clementine, I assume, she'll be going that way.
We'll be nice and fresh from our fencing lessons.
Yep.
Yeah, Claudia would then probably just like pick you up at Roland's club, and she'll drive you to an apartment that's like mid East Manhattan. Get out of the car. It does not seem very like suspicious or espionage. She's just like going to meet some people. So she leads you along up the stairs of an apartment building, knocks on the door, and after a moment or 2, the door opens, and one young man with like, you know, short dark hair opens the door, smiles, and kind of gives Claudia a little like clap on the shoulders. It's good to see you. Please come in.
Nate's gonna wait for them to, kind of finish their exchange and move in, and he's immediately going to then, once they break apart, hold out his hand and kind of, hi, we haven't met yet, but I'm Nate Ward.
So the man with the short, dark hair is gonna like shake your hand and Mark. Nice to meet you. Nate, you said, right?
Yes, Nate, and this is our pal Roland.
And he'll nod at him.
Roland will reach out a hand and shake it.
So he'll shake it, and just like from the other room, casually strolling out, will be a like even more like this guy is like, mid to late 20s, maybe early 30s, that like vague sense of like age, but this guy actually looks quite younger, late college years or like mid 20s, but looks younger kind of guy. Short blonde hair. And as all the handshakes are being, exchanged, he walks out with his hand forward and starts to shake between the two of you. It's Byron. And actually, Nate will vaguely recognize him.
That name sounds vaguely familiar.
Not the name, just his face.
Oh, and
Sorry.
Where would he look familiar from?
Give me wits alertness. Is that the better one for memory? I always try to decide what memory is.
Wits.
Yeah.
One success.
You definitely recognize him from the rave at Roland's club.
Byron, you said. It's great to formally get introduced to you. I believe we've, in passing, met. You were at the rave, correct?
Yes. He's gonna look at you with a bit of a squinted eye for a moment, like he's taking it in, trying to remember exactly where he saw you at the rave. You were at the bar. You were talking to Tiffany.
Yeah, you know Tiffany, then.
Yeah, she's my ghoul.
Well, then I have to applaud you on your... sorry, let me refresh that. Then I have to applaud you on the company you keep. She's a wonderful individual.
She is. I've been trying to convince her forever to join us proper, if you know what I mean, but I don't know. She's stubborn, but I like that about her.
I definitely understand the appeal there.
So Mark and Byron's just kind of like nodding very friendly at the two of you. Well, Mark speaking. It's great to meet all of you, and I'm not trying to rush or anything, but I think we're here for a specific reason. We can always catch up at the bar later.
Correct. Yes.
So Mark kind of clears his throat. Doesn't need to. Just that like old habit. Well, looking at Claudia specifically, but his gaze, very charismatically flits between everybody that's in the room. During the war, I was one of the main liaisons with the Setites, the deals we were doing about moving that blood. You know the one. And there was a young man that was essentially the drop-off. I couldn't believe he was the one they picked. He seemed flighty. He didn't seem trustworthy to me. I feel like it was almost they'd rather have the tainted blood end up with him, and if it goes missing or gets drank, then they didn't have someone important to worry about. So Claudia nods along. Right. So you think that this person is someone we can push without without it coming back on us? And Mark's gonna nod slowly at her, like, I think. He seemed like a coward, and he seemed easily manipulated. Just his attitude, his mannerisms, his personality, he seemed weak. I'm not trying to be mean, it's the way he came off to me. If we offer him something, intimidate him, both, maybe, we might be able to get some extra information out of him, or I don't even know.
Do you think he's high enough in the chain to really know much information?
Mark's gonna turn to Roland and shake his head. I'm not sure, but if he was given the task to take on an important shipment from us during a war effort, he's gotta be high enough to be trusted, but it seemed like they still wanted someone low enough to be a safe fallman. I think he might be that right level to push first. Rather than go at someone who can retaliate, maybe even be just strong enough to fight back on their own, or go with someone low enough that isn't going to know anything, find a sort of middle ground. Someone weak enough, dumb enough, I don't know, to listen to us, work with us, be manipulated on our end, but still have something to give us in return.
Right. Did he come with bodyguards? Was he by himself?
At the meetings for the war, yes. Since then, I believe he lives mostly alone. I have seen some people come and go from his apartment, but again, he might even be the right type to ask a question, and if we think it's not going the right way, maybe no one will miss him. Byron, standing next to him, is going to look a little uncomfortable at that line, but also give a minor shrug. Claudia looks very just stoic, just taking the information in and not responding.
So I just have one question. How much do you guys know about the Setites themselves? This Dominic fellow that we're invested in seems incredibly bond happy, very, very free to share his blood. I mean, the fucker keeps a vial of his own blood free to drink in a cabinet in his room. Like,
Mark and Byron look between each other and go, yeah, we've heard some rumors about this guy. We don't know anything for sure, but definitely the rumors have all made it out that you don't want to be alone with the guy, and even in company, he can be dangerous.
That's exactly what I'm getting at. What are the chances that this guy that we're trying to lean on has, if I was in Dominic's shoes and understand the way that this guy comes across, anyone he sees weaker than him, he would look to bond instantly to himself. And what's stopping him from binding our potential, contact here to himself and just rendering this entire exercise moot?
Mark, in a bit of slight, not annoyance, but frustration, just kind of rubs his hair. No, the guy is probably bonded. One of them, if not Dominic. The point is, if we don't get what we need out of him, I'm sure it's not gonna leave this guy's lips.
And just so I understand the agreement here, are you part of the helping get information party, or is that just on us?
Mark starts to chuckle a little bit, even Byron gives a sly smile, and they glance for a second at Claudia. Mark speaking again. I think we're available for getting information, but I think we're more the second wave cavalry, or your first movement if you want to go see this guy.
No, I think I can handle this. At least the information getting part on by myself. I was just wondering if you were going to be there or not.
It depends on who you're going to see.
Have they said the name of this guy? They keep on saying the guy. I don't think I've heard like an actual name.
You can ask.
And what is the name of this character?
Warren Wells. Sounds like a wasp name, right? But guy's not living too well.
Where is he living?
He's living south of the Bronx. So basically Setite territory, but they definitely didn't set him up with anything special.
Can you write down the address for me?
Sorry, was that?
Can you write down the address for me?
Mark and Byron are going to look between each other a little, and Byron speaking up, the younger looking one with the blonde hair. I mean, we were going to make plans to go over there. You thinking of going on your own?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I might have misunderstood. I thought they were saying like they're kind of backup cavalry, that they're just like giving us information.
They meant that for like the whole thing, and then their second line where they said like, or we're there for going to see this guy, was if you're going to see this guy, we're coming with you.
Gotcha.
Sorry if I'm not clear with my dumb metaphor, allegory, phrasing.
No, you're good. I can get it. I'm not sure exactly Claudia has.
Hey,
Yeah, you broke up for a second, then you got clear again, so just repeat that.
Yep.
You're good.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what Claudia has in mind, but the sooner we can get this done, the better.
Claudia sort of just gently closes her eyes and shakes her head. Yes, I trust Mark and Byron here, and I think this might be a good lead.
And are we going to sit on this information for a little bit, or are we going to jump head first?
One thing I think is missing in games, especially like World of Darkness, is like a roll against impulses.
it's a new world of darkness.
Yeah, and that sucks. So anyway, Claudia's going to keep her eyes closed and slightly smiling for a little bit, and she's going to look up at Mark and Byron and speaking to the two of them. You're sure if we go and speak to this young man and things don't go so well, it won't cause problems for the rest of our plans? And Mark kind of like shakes his head for a little moment. I'm pretty sure. Claudia's gonna glance between Roland and Nate in that genuine look of like, what do you two think?
Rolling away for Nate.
I mean, sooner the better.
I agree with that statement. The sooner we can get rid of this whole ordeal, the better.
Claudia gives a bit of a laugh in that tone of like, God, why do I hang around you kids? And nods, looking back up to Mark and Byron. I think I'll need to head back to my apartment to pick a couple things up, but we'll meet you back here. So the two of them just like nod cordially and go about themselves. Will Nate and Roland follow? Does either one want to stay?
I was gonna follow Claudia if you wanted to do something differently, Roland.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna be going and kidnapping people, like I'm down for Clementine to see business discussions, but usually not the actual business happening.
Mhm.
So I will need to drop her off at Rebel's Kiss, see if Sunshine
Okay.
shoots there.
All right. Well, that will definitely be next week. So that is next week. We're gonna see what the Bruja get up to. Let us get back to our other kids. So, Angel, Kim, and Felix definitely have kind of a line they want to, I think, look into Envotech. Do any of you three have a line where you're thinking you want to look first? Or Felix, I don't know if you're specifically...
academically
Mhm.
through the hospital or even the college that I went to or anything.
Yep. Angel, did you have any like specific way you were gonna try to like?
So two possible paths. One would be, as much as I'm kind of avoiding doing it, talking to Agnes about it,
Mhm.
and two would be talking to Kay, my new Nosferatu buddy.
Crid.
Yes.
Felix, what is that face?
That is the face of. I'm really trying to find where the heck this Zamisi went.
No, I mean, you did have kind of other stuff going on. Well, you're like, wait, where the fuck is Daniel? You did have your contact with Benedict about the sewers, although he gave you as much as he had at the time. He said he's gonna try and find out more, but he hasn't. It's only been like a couple days, so probably hasn't found out much more.
Right.
And I think your only other real line, yeah, I think those are your main lines as far as the sewers messy stuff goes. And Angel has like asked you, or I don't know if he asked you directly, but he did say like, I need to find out this stuff about this guy. I don't know if you care or not, so that's up to
Which
your
guy?
character. Angel and Felix were the ones at Andrew and Sarah's hotel room and heard him talk about Jeremy, and Angel was like, I need to find out this shit about Envotech. Felix, you let me know your thoughts.
I really need a last name or a picture of the guy to really
Yeah,
find.
you have a physical description, but not a picture.
Yeah. I might be able to explore upon that and ask Jocelyn. Hey, I have a description. Go find it.
Possibly. The other thing you have
Possibly.
more personally is trying to maybe catch up with Ephraim about Aisling. Whichever line you want to follow.
That's- I would rather go talk to Ephraim.
Okay.
I think that's the most interestingly drunk decision I can make tonight.
Alright, we'll get back to that in a moment. I want to catch up with Angel. And Kim are both going to be basically trying to like find out what they can about Envotech, and then I guess like maybe even like following up with each other.
Okay.
Yes. I'm asked that was a question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Give me. Let me look at your sheets real quick. One sec. Okay, yeah. Intelligence investigation from both of you.
Versus 6.
1. I didn't do so good that time. I get to roll 6 dice, but I've been sucking at every roll ever recently.
To be fair, you have a 15 there, which is
yeah, but
10.
the 1 cancels out 10s first, which means I only get the 9, which means
Oh,
1
okay, that's
success.
somehow I managed to get 2 successes on my 3 dice.
All right, so as Kim,
You somehow got more than me, and I have 6 dice to roll. Fuck you.
Kim is able to learn really just what is on the web, on their own website, which she'll learn that they're a large kind of conglomerate corporation where they do environmental studies, testing, surveys for areas. Especially with New York, there are several national parks and the some of the islands off on the side, like North Brother Island, which was part of the Anarch Games, is bird and animal sanctuaries, things like that. They keep up with that. They are involved with different nonprofit organizations, etc., etc., etc. It looks like just a nice, pretty company. The only thing you find that stands out from your internet searches is the recent news from the local colleges holding protests about the company being involved in some movements to get at least North Brother Island, one of the animal/bird sanctuaries, animal/bird sanctuaries, opened to limited educational tours. A lot of the colleges have been protesting it, while the company is saying the money from tours and awareness and advocation would actually help parks. So it's this back and forth between the company and the colleges. That's as much as you get. Angel, you would find the same amount of knowledge from your internet search. Your extra success would give you a little bit here and there that lead you to one person's name, that leads you to another, and so on and so forth. And you finally do see a small mention of Thomas Arturo, who you do know is a kindred. He's not in an official position in the city like Primogen or Harpy or anything like that, but he's very well known and influential.
And he's presumably Camarilla, right?
Yes, he's Camarilla, rich, influential, blah blah blah.
And this island, do I happen to know, like, is that under Camarilla control, presumably? Or, like, is
Not that you would, know of. In fact, as far as you could, even if you try to research that, it would just still show up, no, it's under federal protection for a sanctuary.
So, nature, presumably, fucking werewolves.
Maybe.
No, that is my presumption.
Okay, good.
And you said Thomas Arturo?
Yes. Just an extra bit if you would know that he's Toreador.
Yeah, alright. Okay.
Did you get anything? I didn't get anything other than this college.
I think I built a connection to a Thomas Arturo. He's a Tory who lives here in town. It's a lot of T's.
Yeah, that's better than what I got. So
Kim would very vaguely know the name. Name, but nothing else.
I've heard the name before. Is he?
He's pretty well known. He ain't got a position or anything like that, but he's pretty well known around here. He's Toreador. Know that for a fact.
And Angel will be able to also tell Kim that he owns 2 large apartment buildings, like fancy, very nice apartment complexes.
And because I'm a Toreador and he's a Toreador, would I possibly know what his art is?
Architecture.
All right.
That's why he owns buildings. He makes them. He makes them
yeah,
nice.
but that would be a thing that would kind of stick in my mind.
In fact, 2 of the apartment buildings he owns has this gorgeous glass bridge between them with an atrium kind of set up at the top.
Yeah, he's a fucking architect. I think he owns a couple really big apartment buildings. There's this one, it's really fucking pretty. I'm pretty sure that's his deal as a Tory, as he likes buildings.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Sure, I guess we should go talk to him.
Should we talk to him? I don't like I'm kind of new to this whole like subtle like espionage shit. And where I didn't like
Feel any better at all.
so
But
like
I have, excuse to go talk to him. Kind of. I work with the hospital. He works with the technological science company.
okay, so what kind of connection did I make? Like do I understand in any capacity what this guy has connections to with Infotech?
You got like a board of directors connection, like it'd be like at the very bottom of one page. It said like board of directors, and like you happen to like you've been scanning and trying to find anything you can, and you happen to have seen his name, and you went, unless it's a different Thomas Arturo.
Yeah, I mean it could be a completely different Thomas Arturo, and I'm barking totally up the wrong tree. But like, it looked like he was on a board of directors or something. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because he's an architect, and this is like a biological sciences.
Yeah, like an environmental science thing. Think they designed some green energy.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't exactly even know what environmental sciences is.
It usually entails trying to find renewable energy. Goodness, I'm sorry. My mouth flubbed there.
Yeah, like the problem with that is I don't really know like how you could approach him and be like, hey, I get you're an architect, but like, why you connect? I don't know. I don't know exactly how to approach him like that.
Yes.
We could always start the Jameer at the problem.
Aren't they always?
He's got a solution for it.
No, we can try to come up with something.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can find something to talk to him about as far as even just science in general. But I'm not sure what exactly to even try to weasel out of him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, so it would honestly just be a discussion about whatever pretext I came up with, and I wouldn't know how to steer it in a different direction that would be more constructive. So.
Times like this, we could use like a Ventru.
I know. Right? We can try though. I can
Definitely
come up with something, or try to. I'm not sure exactly how productive that will be, but it can't hurt either at the same time.
I don't know. That's my concern though. Is like there's big connections. There's big there's some hinky shit going on. Who's to say he wouldn't just like disappear us away and make? I don't fucking know. Like, we've already had one kindred go missing.
Yeah.
That's what scares me. Is if he's in on this, one of us could just be gone.
Wait, hold on. So this Invitech place, your Ravnos friends had a werewolf that was holding one of them hostage?
Yes.
Oh shit.
In exchange for getting information about this Invotech, some paperwork that I don't fucking got. But like they said it was in my place.
Why would a werewolf do anything with a kindred? I've always heard that they just kill us on sight.
Presumably, he figured the kindred had something to do, like some kind of knowledge with with this Invotech. Like maybe he's built a connection that we ain't.
Did he say why he wanted something? They were holding someone of his, or what?
I think that's it. Yeah, that's definitely an assumption that me and Felix made. Like, werewolves have been gone missing, as we can fucking tell. A kindred's gone missing. It's kind of like, it could be argued that that's fair trade.
So werewolves have gone missing, and
I mean-
mysteriously, without any explanation, I have 2 boxes full of werewolf blood here.
I'm saying that because mysteriously you got a bunch of boxes of werewolf blood, I would assume that means some werewolves have gone missing, because they don't tend to just like be like, hey bro, here, have some blood, I'll sell it to you. So like I'm assuming that these werewolves went missing.
That sounds completely reasonable, and also I kind of want to draw the assumption that therefore Invotech has something to do with it. Especially
it could
seeing
be
a
a front
kindred
company.
on the staff. And the fact that the prince doesn't particularly seem to want me to know where any of it comes from.
Yeah, that's hence the reason why we ain't talked to nobody about this shit.
I think, and this is honestly all conjecture, and I have no proof, and honestly, it's a jump of a guess. So I should really back that up with more substantial evidence, but I think Envotech has the non-existent, quote-unquote, missing werewolves.
That
Which
would
is
also
where
be
this
my
blood
assumption.
comes from, because otherwise, why the hell would a werewolf want you to infiltrate Invotech?
I mean, to be fair, he didn't ask us to infiltrate. He asked the fucking Ravnos to get some paper that they believe my sire told them that I have. Yeah, I got
That
right.
is the piece that I can't understand. But
So
the rest of
apparently
it
all
kind
they
of
cared
makes a
about
little
was
too much
some
sense.
documents.
Yeah. The rest of it makes a little too much sense, though. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, just this is starting to feel a bit shady, a lot shady.
To be fair, it's been feeling a bit shady for quite a while. Like the moment you found out we were fucking werewolf bloods after I ran into a fucking werewolf.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. That seems. Even if you somehow deliver what he wants to him, how do you know that he's not going to kill you?
I ain't got a clue. Again, like, I don't necessarily know the arrangement that was made between Andrew and Sarah and this Jeremy character. But like, I feel like they weren't particularly worried about it because you know, it's one of their brothers that's been captured, so like it's important to them.
Yeah.
So you know, kind of risk they'd be willing to take.
So if Envotech has the werewolf prisoners, then that means that the prince is tied in it. So how do we proceed as far as that? Do we not want to stir anything? Do we want to try to confront them? Do we want to just ask them? Because honestly, like, and hear me out here, if werewolves only want to kill us, from everything I've ever heard, is the prince wrong?
See, I don't actually know, and it's a problem I've been having. Like, I don't know all the story. Like, maybe
That's true.
maybe what the prince is doing is totally in the right. Maybe she's doing and just, you know, seems shady because, you know, we don't know the whole story. But it could be that the prince is being a fucking bitch, and these werewolves are just trying to get their family back because usually they're not a problem. Like, they usually like you know, been doing this for like a decade or so, ain't really run across a werewolf unless, you know, I try to go to Central Park for some fucking reason. So like, they don't seem to like be worried about finding us, fucking us over, except for like you run across one, you get torn limb to limb, you know, whatever. But like they don't seem to seek us out.
Yes, but that's because we try to avoid them as much as possible.
All I'm saying is I don't know the whole story. I'm trying to keep an open mind and figure out, like, I don't know, who's fucking doing what, and then I'll decide, like, you know, like I have all the power. That you know, get to decide who wins in this. I don't fucking know.
That's true. And honestly, at this point, it's all just conjecture because we don't know.
Exactly.
So that makes perfect sense. Yeah, so I guess we should just go talk to this guy. And,
If we can find him.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm gonna hand this phone over to the sewer rats, the fucking Nazis, and like see if they can't like backtrack the fucking phone call or something.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, yeah, if you could do that, that'd be fantastic. I will, I don't know, try to do more research, maybe come up with an excuse to go talk to this guy.
Yeah, I feel like our best course of action, I can't believe I'm saying this, is to go find this werewolf and talk to him.
Oh, shit.
Which is kind of fucking terrifying.
I don't want to talk to a werewolf.
To be fair, there is an alternative.
Which is?
We let these people deal with their problems. We go back to our problems. Like, that is technically an option, but,
it doesn't feel right, though.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it is an option.
That just doesn't feel right. I can't leave well enough alone there.
So, Kim and Angel continue discussing for a little bit their choices. Or could leave it open and discuss it again when they've had time to think.
I think we've decided. I think
Yeah,
he's going to go to the Nazis.
Yeah,
I'm going to go try and come up with an excuse to go talk to that dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the Nazis, try and get them to backtrace this phone and see if we can't find this Jeremy character and arrange a meeting with him in the safest possible way. Definitely bringing Felix on this because he said he had like anti-werewolf magic.
Please bring me too. Like, I actually am really curious.
But I'm pretty sure. I think I remember him, Felix, saying that he had like anti-werewolf magic. So that is something that I could use.
All right.
Good. That will wrap this evening up, out of game, the game itself, for tonight. In game, we're still early on Saturday, and quite a number of things will happen next week. We've got a couple brouhaha that are gonna, maybe shake up a set type. We've got a Tremere that is gonna be going to speak to a region that spooks him a bit. Toreador and a Malkavian doctor that are maybe going to go see the Nazis, and a Lasombra that's going to be probably following up with a couple different people. So, that is it for us tonight. This coming Friday, Modi, tell me if I'm wrong? Yes? Yes, I'm not wrong?
We are playing Friday. We are playing Friday.
Alright, this Friday, Demon the Fallen on this channel at 9:30 p.m. EST. Check us out. Tomorrow night at about 9 p.m. EST, Alva Stain will be doing her art on her channel. Check her out. She does RPG illustrations, stuff that's for our game, but she will also take requests and, commissions and whatever else. Definitely check her out. Koznark streams mainly between 12 and 6 p.m. throughout the day, does a bunch of different games. Chard and Articus also stream, here and there. Chard definitely about to the evening time. Check them out, give them a follow. Awesome guys, everybody all around. And Sunday I should be back to Bloodlines as well. So, thank you everybody who has come out tonight and everybody who has come out regularly. We love you all. We really appreciate your regular attendance and your fun nonsense in the chat. Love you all. We will see you soon. Bye.
You guys are fantastic. Good night.
We will see you.